It is.
I want to see something.
Now we're good. Very, very legible. Oh, I got to get a haircut. I have this one angry curl that refuses to die.
I'm so small. Oh, no, I'm so small.
There you go.
Oh, no, I'm so small. What? Oh, God, I'm so small. Oh, no.
Oh, there's an earthquake over here. What's happening? What?
Oh, my God. Now I'm big. You're fucked. I'm going to eat everyone here. I'm so big. All right.
You're not the only one who's big, Xander.
Oh, shit.
Oh, let me get big. Here I go.
I get big.
Oh, here I come. I'm big and sliding to my right.
You're not as big as I can get. I can get bigger than you. Oh, shit. I'm getting so big. This is a big...
How big can we possibly become?
We can get real big. This is the micro expression cam.
It is. Oh, no. Oh, no. I accidentally slid myself off screen and I can't get myself back.
Oh,
come back.
My God.
I'm looking in your cafeteria. I'm going to eat your shit and give you COVID.
COVID is on the way.
COVID. Sorry.
Oh no! I don't know how to get my camera back on screen. I've made a fool's error.
I might have had
fool.
That jug was filled
with wine. Oh, here I come! Don't you even?
All right. I think I've got it.
That you could be bigger than me, Xander.
Oh shit! Are you super big?
Oh no! Am I off cam?
You're off cam.
Oh, don't worry.
What the flying fudge is going on?
Yes.
Oh boy!
The good news is,
shit!
Oh, it's like that one album cover.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember Pepper.
Wait, what's my what? What do you remember?
Oh, you made that face in that way on the one album cover.
Oh, right. I forget what my faces are. I make so many of them. It's taking a long ass time to shrink myself here. Sorry, I'm coming back one drag at a time. Oh, there we are. Need to grab my equipment before I get going here. Oh yeah, I need a background image. What am I gonna look? What's gonna be behind me?
So I have decided to go with the control room from Cabin in the Woods, since that seemed appropriate.
Also, yeah, that's a good time.
I can hear Twix in the background going thud and then hissing a little bit. King Crimson, nice. I approve of King Crimson. Is there a thing that I should be refreshing?
Oh boy.
All right, I'm going for it here. We're working on it. I may not find anything.
Sis boom ba. Sis boom ba.
Hi guys, we're so entertaining right now.
I know. Look at us. Are we on the air? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I think we are. Yeah.
Oh. Who's hosting this? I should probably think about that.
Hi, I am host Draggor Zippy Tanks, please, if you will.
No, I mean, what regular media outlet is playing this stream?
CNN.com should just have it for everybody.
This virus is coming
from the worst.
And I'm starting to see some people.
Thank you, Levi.
The question is, do you turn to each other or on each other?
Are they going to put themselves on YouTube and then also copyright strike themselves?
For politics to change.
Wait, what was that? I wasn't listening.
And it's a big test.
It's the first time in a long time, Kirsten, that...
Are they also going to copyright strike their own feed? That would be a good time.
Yes.
That was always fun.
I don't know. I guess I am missing my heads to...
It's horrible for it to come in a corona crisis, but it's an important message, especially...
Let's get my Colin Mockery
I think
going.
To remember that we're all interconnected and that we're...
Oh, yeah, we need our advanced copyright protection.
Panicking and starting to hoard...
Where's my Colin head? Damn it, there it is.
Stop and think, wait, there are other people that are going to need these things. So, take as much as you need, be reasonable and plan. But remember, there are other people that are going to come to that store and they have families and they need to be able
Here comes the hosting thing.
Things and to be thinking about it that way.
Very different drumbeat than the us versus them, which has been
there we go.
Since
Zippy Tanks host.
Real opportunity for the
Hooray.
tonight.
What do you type in again?
Unified.
This
is
the host.
Real opportunity.
You go to your channel.
You got to put that little button that says host on there, so you're not going to see it default. You have to hit the plus button and then scroll to the bottom and be like, what do you want to add to your quick menu? And it's the host.
Oh, I can do a button for that?
Show leadership.
Yeah, it sucks that they hide it. Because they want you to do raids, but raids don't count towards people's stats.
Is only as good
That's
as
dumb.
it is captured by the
Raids.
people involved. Anderson, we're going to see that in a second.
And yeah,
there's
I'm
now
slowly going to be
a lot of
using this
people
more.
watching this
Watch out
debate,
for more doom streaming,
with
especially now that
different
Fox is
situation they are facing in
stuck at
their
home
own
for a
lives.
wee
They are
bit.
facing the potential
We are going to
of
look to do
losing their
that
jobs in
streaming
the restaurants
across
they
the
work at, in
ocean,
the
and
hotel
we're going to
they
open
work
up to
at,
some
or in the
multiplayer
airline they work
madness as
for,
well.
the company that they work for. And they are suddenly going to be looking at, well, what sort of a
Sorry,
safety
guys.
net is
trying
there
to-
Y'all
in a
can
situation
hear
like this
Anderson
that they
Cooper
have
be
not
purple
been
and
in before?
talk, right?
And it's one of the few times. Look, we've been beating
Is he on
up
CNN?
in our
Yeah.
institutions
Or-
for 3 years. Now,
Wait, through you
we're looking
or
at
Be purple and
what do I
talk.
do if I have to be
Oh,
quarantined for 2
Draggor,
weeks?
do one thing for
I
us.
have
Yes.
Do your
that
desk
kind of
like
deal with
screen
my
share
employer.
through Discord for all of us if it
It's good
lets
to
you.
see
So
government
I
work, but this is
we'll
just
see.
the
I'm going to
beginning.
try, but I
Especially as we
think
see
that
the
might have
cases
been one of
come,
the things that
there's
messed
gonna
up
be
the
needs at these
audio.
hospitals that cannot be met.
You just
What
have to
is the
mute
government
that
doing right
output
now
on
to
your
plan for
end.
what they know is going to happen.
Yeah. And again, this debate going to be seen by
Which will be
an
done
awful lot of
differently
people,
depending on your setup.
Westerners.
Hey,
Seeing
easy
the
things to
Univision
do, but they
debate,
aren't easy.
How about
it's gonna be
now?
Fascinating. We've just never seen anything like it.
Let me see.
All right. What
It
did the
is
rest
about
of
that time
y'all
to see
hear?
the
Does it
Univision
sound
Democratic
okay to
presidential
everyone
debate.
else?
Starts now.
Hoo-hoo-hoo. I am not getting audio through yours, so that shouldn't affect anything.
Can someone check the
I'm getting my
screen
own
to make
feed.
sure everything's sounding good?
Let me look. Actually, ask the chat. Chat, what do you think? If there is a chat.
There is. It's my
chat.
Twitch chat.
I'm finding it.
Good
I'm
evening
getting
from
there.
Washington, D.C., and welcome to this unique event, the CNN
All right.
Television Democratic
Let's
presidential
see.
debate with the two leading
Alrighty.
candidates for the Democratic nomination. Former
You-
Vice President
I hear it a little
Biden
bit.
and Vermont
I've
Senator
turned
Bernie
them
Sanders, candidates.
down because I
Welcome. It's good
have
have you. I'm Jake
to,
Tapper,
because
along
otherwise I
with
can't
CNN's
hear
Dan
anything.
Bash And Univision's Ilya Calderon.
We come together tonight at an extraordinary time in our country when
Okay.
people are worried about
Yeah,
far
smells like
more
meat.
than
more.
presidential politics.
Can you turn it up for us a little bit, or no?
Because of the
You can
devastating
boost-
global pandemic of coronavirus.
It's at 200.
It has killed nearly 6,000
200.
people around the world,
200.
and 65 dead and more than
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
3,200 known cases here
I
in
gotcha.
the United States.
I'm going to be
Gotcha,
taking
gotcha.
audio through my own source just so I don't mess up everybody else's.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Of this debate is
Watch
also
CNN live. if I
It's the
have
same.
to.
It's exactly the same.
transmission of the virus, CNN, Univision,
Right,
the
Kat.
Democratic National
Also, they're
Committee,
doing
and
the
campaigns
closed
moved
captions
this debate
nicely
from
for me,
Phoenix,
so
Arizona
that's
to here
good.
At CNN's
Hooray.
studios in Washington without any audience.
And all of this comes, of course, as four more states.
The without audience is fascinating to me.
Ohio and Illinois.
Yeah, it's going to be
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
I'm excited for it.
With Vice President Biden.
I'm excited that no one can just gets to cheer at bad things and boo good
Yeah.
things.
I know.
Each of you will have
I guess
90
blocking that one
fucking-
CNN isn't helping me, huh?
questions and 45
Look at that background.
seconds for responses and rebuttals. As much as we can, we hope this will be a
Yeah, you got to do little faces on
conversation
every
between the two of
single.
you.
That is
So
not
let's begin with the
happening.
most important issue
This
right
is
now,
gonna get
coronavirus,
testy.
what you would do as
I'm
president
glad.
in the
Hooray.
face of it. Vice President Biden, let me start with you.
Joe's like, drop out, drop out, drop. I'm Joe. That's his whole deal.
Million students, grocery store shelves have been cleared out.
Drop
March
out.
Madness,
Drop
NBA games,
out.
Disney parks,
Here comes my
Broadway,
favorite boy. Let's
small
get that
businesses
chat
all
going.
shut down in just today.
Is he gonna walk?
The
Is he gonna
CDC
walk off
is
camera
making a
again?
recommendation that for the next 8 weeks,
Wait, is that a thing Biden does?
consist of
You didn't
50
see that
or
shit? It
more
was
throughout the
amazing.
US.
Is Biden going to forget to
Fucking-
not touch people?
What do you say?
Biden just
for
wandered off camera while doing a fucking
this
address.
new reality?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That sounds incredible. I'm sad I
It was-
missed it. I gotta figure out a different way to mount my camera. I always look like I'm
It
looking
was
down.
really bad.
Oh, God, hold up.
This is bigger than any one of us.
Yeah, no
This
shit.
calls for a national
I
rally
needed to
and
mute.
everybody
Oh, boy.
move
Okay, I think I have all of the windows I'm supposed to have
Now, I
open.
laid out in
Hooray.
detail what I would do if were I president today.
Oh, duh. I'll
You
put
go to
all this
joebiden.com
shit.
and
Okay.
.com,
Sorry.
I laid
You guys
out
don't need to hear me talking about my screen set
But there are
changes.
three pieces of this.
Hey,
Sounds
how do
like
I
a
sound
sense of
now? Do I sound a little bit
Sound
better?
great.
Those who in fact are exposed
To me, you
or
sound
likely to
the
be
same,
exposed
if not
to
more
the virus.
pixelated.
And that means
That is so weird. I moved the microphone
testing
closer.
kits up and ready.
Oh, now that's better now. I think it was just a low bandwidth thing.
The test kits they have available to us.
For a second,
Even though
for
the
me.
president says 1 million
I guess
or
I can
more
move this
coming,
other Colin
let's just
head.
get all the test
Oh.
done.
All right, this Colin head goes here.
Secondly, I would make sure that every state
Okay, guys, I don't know what to put as my background yet.
10
I fucking
places where they
okay.
had
Let's
drive-through testing arrangements. I would also, at this point, deal with the need to begin to plan for the need for additional hospital beds. We have that.
Huzzah! I'm hosting you now.
as well
What a
as,
fucking
As
thrill.
well as with the FEMA. and they can set up 100-bed, 500-bed hospitals in tents quickly. We have to lay all that out, but we have to deal with the economic.
Put a giant Ryan Stiles behind you.
The people who, in fact, lose
Wait,
their job,
what?
don't get a paycheck, can't pay their mortgage, are able to pay.
Oh, Ryan
and
Stiles,
pay
yeah.
Now, and do it now. Small
He likes
businesses
Bernie.
be able to borrow interest-free loans. I see my time is
He
up.
does.
You're going to hold us tightly, I assume. But that's what I would do. Go to JoeBiden.com. It lays out.
Go to JoeBiden.com. Watch me on Twitch. Follow me on
Senator
Twitter.
Sanders, this morning, Dr. Anthony Fauci
Get my
acknowledged
merch.
that it's possible that
Hit that
hundreds of
like button.
thousands, if not millions of Americans,
I'm
could
Techie
die
Joe.
from coronavirus in a worst-case scenario. If
I
you
know
were
all the
president
beep bop
right
boops.
now, what's
All
the
the
most important
beep.
thing you would do
Hold up,
tonight
I've almost found
to try
one
to
half
save
funny
American
image to
lives?
put behind
First thing
myself.
we have got to do, whether or not I'm president.
Come on, you gotta find some
shut
shits.
this president up right now, because he is undermining the doctors and the scientists who are trying to help the American people. It is unacceptable for him to be blabbering
Blab.
with unfactual information, which is confusing the general public.
That's actually really harmful because it's enabling people that are going to kill us all.
The state of national emergency. What we have got
Can you
to
put
do is
the
really
caption
aggressively
on
to make
the
sure
video
that
in the
every person
stream?
in
It's
this
gone now.
country
No.
finally understands
Yeah.
that when they get sick with the
How about now?
coronavirus, that they will.
There's a delay,
all
so you got. Yep,
payments
there it
will
is.
be made, that they don't have to worry about coming up with money for testing. They don't have to worry about coming up with money for treatment. This is an unprecedented moment in American history. Now, I obviously believe in Medicare for all. I will fight for that as president. But right now, in this emergency, I want every person in this country to understand that when you get sick, you go to the doctor. When you
In
get sick, if
theory.
you have the virus, that
Yeah,
will be
like-
paid for. Do not worry about the costs right now because we're in the middle of a national emergency. Second of all, we
All the
have to
rich go,
make sure
"Yes,
that
do
our
that,
hospitals
do that."
have
Can
the
anyone
ventilators
get
they
tested
need,
for this
have
shit
the
right now or
ICU
no?
units that they need. Right now, we
Kinda.
have a lack
Like,
of
very rich people can
personnel,
get tested
and I worry
for it.
very much
Yeah. If you're the Utah
there is
Jazz, you
a
can get tested
whether we
for it.
have the capability
Yeah, man.
of dealing
That's basically the
with
level we're
hundreds
at.
of thousands of people who may be in hospitals. So we
Cool.
need unprecedented
Pepper, what do you
action
use for
right
your
now
lights? Do you use those do you use those Elgato key
and
lights?
bottom line, from an economic point of view, what we have to say to the American people, if you lose your job,
Let me show it to
will
you.
be made whole. You're not going to lose anything. If
It's
Trump
one of
can put-
these.
can put $1
It
trillion
says
into the banking system,
Thank
we
you,
can
Senator.
protect the wages.
nothing on it that allows me to tell you what it is.
Tiggus, that is indeed the test. That is the Pence test.
You can tell me what it is later.
There's no brand on it at all.
But I'm using Hue lights right now.
Regulations
Ooh.
and red tape. Did bureaucratic red tape hamper this response in any way?
Bureaucratic
Look, the
red
World Health
tape?
Organization offered the testing
fuck's he
kits
talking about?
that they have available and to give it to us now.
We lost a
We
pepper.
refused it. We did not want to buy them. We did not want to get them from them. We wanted to make
I
sure
like
we
his
had our own.
background.
I think he said something like, "We have the best scientists in America," or something to that effect. The idea that we are not prepared for this and the other thing I want to point out, and I agree with Bernie, we're in a situation where we have to now be providing for the hospitals that are going to be needed now. The present system cannot handle the surge that is likely to come.
Oh,
we should
Joe's setting
already
himself
be
up for a swift
sitting
kick in the
down
nuts from
and
Bernie
planning
later.
Where we're going to put
That
these
sounds about right.
temporary hospitals, and we can do that. We did that. We've been through this before with the coronavirus. We've been through this before. We've been through this before with dealing with the viruses that the N1H15, as well as
H1N1
we provided these
swine flu,
hospitals
aka as my
dealing
friend
with
Bill called
these
it, and
great
got the bacon lung.
pandemics.
Ah,
and we were able to
yes.
Do it quickly. And people
forgot about that.
Yes, the bacon
We also have to
lung.
provide the equipment to
The
protect
bacon.
the first responders, and that's not being done either.
Senator Sanders, on that note, and you both of you have addressed this, but obviously another major health concern right now for officials is the potential surge in patients all at once.
Flatten the curve, you fucks, please.
You mentioned ICU beds, both of you.
All
and
the restaurants in
ventilators.
Illinois are
We're already in the
closed,
middle of
baby.
flu season,
Did you hear
so
that shit?
already a lot of those
To the
beds
public, yeah.
and ventilators are already being used. If you were president
Delivery and
right
takeout,
now,
still an
what
option.
would you do to make sure every sick American is able to get
Illinois
so the US
shutdown.
does not suffer the same fate as
Lock
Italy,
down, as the
where
Usos say.
doctors have to decide
I
right now
appreciate the
who gets
lockdown
life-saving
actually.
treatment and who
Before it's like,
Let's be honest.
oh my god, I'm sure you guys have seen the airport.
This
Yeah.
virus
Holy fuck.
pandemic.
There-
exposure
How the
Fucking
fuck
Twix,
did that
what
happen?
are
Why did
you
they put
doing?
more fucking
Weakness and dysfunctionality
screening? What is it?
of our
Screening
current
gonna
system.
fucking I don't understand.
It makes
that.
you all stand in a very, very crowded room for a long period of time with a lot of people.
Who the hell did that?
International travel.
And why aren't they fired?
Who are uninsured or underinsured, and there are people who are watching this program tonight who say, I'm not feeling well. Should I go to the doctor, but I can't afford to go to the doctor? What happens if I am sick? It's going to cost thousands of dollars for treatment.
Yeah.
Who's going to feed my kids? We are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people.
I already know one person who had their employment fucking threatened.
How come we don't have doctors? How come hospitals?
I could say it, but I don't want to divulge too much.
Yeah.
How come people can't afford to get the prescription drugs they need?
If it's the mutual person we know, I think it was tweeted.
Yeah, it was tweeted. Yeah, Chris the Comedy Bunny.
Yeah, go check out their Twitter and see what's happening to our own right now.
An opportunity to make a fortune. So the word has got to go out, and I certainly would do this as president. You don't worry. People of America, do not worry about the cost of prescription drugs. Do not worry about the cost of the.
You got to follow that up with like legal stuff too. They can put 1.5 trillion into a market, but heaven fucking forbid they guarantee wages for low-income workers.
They need. The drug companies will not rip us off.
Thank you, Senator. Vice President Biden, some medical experts are saying the only true way to control this virus is through a national quarantine, requiring every American other than essential personnel to stay home. Would you take that unprecedented step of a national lockdown?
What I would do is what we did in our administration. I would call a meeting in the situation.
I retweeted it in case anyone wanted to see it.
In America, dealing with this crisis. I would sit them down and I would do exactly what we did then. What is it that we need? Listen to the experts. What do we need? And with all due respect to Medicare for all, you have a single payer system in Italy. It doesn't work there. It has nothing to do with Medicare for all. That would not solve the problem at all.
Flying fuck?
We can take care of that right now.
No one thinks it prevents coronavirus, Biden. They think that all the people who get it will be better off when they don't go bankrupt for going to the doctor. Jesus Christ, dude.
No one has to pay
Fucking
for
idiot.
Also, that's
It's that no one has sick days. It's that no one has...
It's also cherry picking the facts because that was one of the highest travel seasons. And then someone leaked that they were going to lock down just a city, and then they all fled, and then they locked down the country. If that info didn't get leaked, they would have just locked down the one city, and maybe that would have been enough.
In the United States, instead of doing this piecemeal, sit down and do what we did before with the Ebola crisis. What is needed?
Ebola crisis has nothing. Okay, it probably has
nothing
a lot
to do
of
with
similarities in terms of it's contagious and it'll kill your ass.
Oh, no, it's just in how you respond to a medical, a potential pandemic like this.
Sure.
How to move forward. In the absence of that, governors are making some sound decisions. They're doing the best they can by going out and getting the
Illinois is actually doing pretty well.
In their states to
Our mayor,
but it should be directed
Lori
from
Lightfoot,
the
specifically
White House,
said they will use
from the
police
Secret
action
Service,
to
laying
break
out
up
in
gatherings
detail what
1,000 or
they
greater if they
did in the
disobey
Ebola
the
crisis.
banned
We beat it.
order.
Thank you. Senator Sanders, your
I mean, good.
First of all,
Yeah. But they're one of the few to actually back that up, saying they will use police action. A lot of places won't, and that's why you're seeing a lot of conventions not cancel or delay
As I
yet.
said earlier, there are people who hesitate to go to the doctor.
I've seen a lot of this is my constitutional right, and then a lot of shut the fuck up.
That's my income. Can I get it? Can I not get it? Clearly,
good to
we
see.
are not prepared, and Trump only exacerbates the crisis. When we spend twice as much per capita on healthcare as any other nation, one might expect that we would have enough doctors all over this country. One might expect that we would have affordable prescription drugs. One might expect that we are.
Turns out medical school is also prohibitively expensive.
Why is our shit so expensive, everybody?
And why does money dictate who gets to be a doctor?
And bottom line here is in terms of Medicare for all, despite what the vice president is
I mean,
saying.
Draggor, you don't want a poor person being a doctor. Their hands are all dirty.
We are unprepared and have been unprepared. Is we don't have.
They're not going to be able to communicate with the patient on the same level, Xander.
That is not a system that is prepared.
If we're going hog wild into right-wing talking points.
We're losing up to 60,000.
Yes, Pandez, Star Trek, a.k.a. gay space socialism.
Crisis is only
Yep.
making a bad situation
With
worse.
That has
big
nothing to
military
do when you're
dick,
in a national
admittedly.
crisis.
With a big
National
military
crisis
dick.
says we're responding.
With
It's
phasers
all
that can
free.
evaporate
You don't
shit.
have to pay for a thing. That has nothing to do with whether or not you have an insurance policy. This is a crisis. We're at war with the virus.
No, there is no war.
It has nothing to do with copays or anything. We just passed a law saying that You do not have to pay for any of this, period.
That's not true.
So when you go to the hospital for your symptoms, you don't have to pay for that either?
I understand.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Why don't we just make that permanent then, Biden?
What you're talking about, Joe, here is enormous loopholes within that in fact, it is not necessarily covering treatment for all people in America, and that people are going to be stuck with a bill unless we change that. And we're going to offer legislation to, in fact, change that.
If I may, I offered.
No.
If I may, yeah, go away.
Cover exactly what is not covered by the House. I laid out in the plan that I laid out for how we would deal with this crisis. Nobody will pay for anything having to do with the crisis. This is a national emergency.
Anything?
There isn't a question of whether or not this.
I shit myself because of this crisis. Will you deliver me new pants?
What the fuck are you talking about?
What does that
Joe?
mean, Biden? Anything? Like lost hours, lost wages?
That's what my plan
Yeah.
calls for.
But the week.
You know to pay for that?
I have pandemic legacy.
Great, dude. What's your plan? Like, if you have a plan to nothing, great.
Terrible tragedy.
Put that forward, Biden. I'll get excited about that.
The wife has the virus. The husband is a wreck. Wants to go to a psychologist. Wants to get counseling. Doesn't have the money to do that. Maybe their kid breaks a leg. They don't have the money to go to healthcare. So you're saying right now in the middle of a crisis, but you know what? Last year, at least 30,000 people died in America because they didn't get healthcare when they should, because we don't have universal coverage. I think that's a crisis. 1 out of 5 people in America cannot afford the prescription drugs they need. They suffer. Some die.
Hey guys, we have a big fucking shortage, I think, of just regular ass generics, right? Isn't that a big deal? Because we get them from other countries, right?
All over the world.
Yeah.
That is, if you
Okay.
are in America,
So maybe
the healthcare you need.
You know, I was joking about it, that I have a somewhat rare, expensive medication.
The trick is, do we have the
I should
guts
make sure I
to take
have
on the
enough.
healthcare industry,
Yes, you should.
Right.
which is
Real
funding
thing.
the vice president?
Like, I only have
We
another
have the courage to take on the
month
executives at the prescription drug
on hand now.
industry. Some of
No,
them-
month
Yeah,
and a half.
that's why I'm rationing.
campaign.
Look, this is a national crisis. I don't want to get this into a back and forth in terms of our politics here.
That's what this is for. So fuck you, Joe.
Voting on Obamacare,
Fuck you, Joe.
providing a public option of Medicare that would cover
Hashtag
everyone
fuck
the same way. This idea that this is his only answer is a mistaken notion. But regardless of whether my plan
he's been
was in
practicing
place
that
or
line,
his,
huh?
This is a crisis. This is like we are being attacked from abroad. This is something that is of great consequence.
Let me put this in an
is like a
analogy
war.
that I'll
And in
understand.
a war, whatever is needed to be done to take care of your people.
Coronavirus is like a Middle Eastern
And I
country.
proposed it, I laid it out in detail.
Oh my God.
Everything that you
We need to declare an endless
in terms
war
of
on it.
dealing with this crisis
We need to
would be
bomb the
free.
shit out of
It
that
is paid
virus.
for by the taxpayers generally.
Is that why they always
It has
use dark
nothing
colors to
do
draw
with
this
Bernie's
one?
Medicare for all. And by the way,
Was that too dark?
President Biden, thank
Was
you.
that too
If I
on the
may,
nose of,
the
oh
Vice President
shit?
just mentioned war.
Well,
We
Would you deploy
institutionalize
the US
racism?
military in effort to contain the virus, and if so, how?
Well, I think we use all of the tools that make sense. And if using the National Guard, which is folks, I think in New York State are already using the National Guard, that is
Are they?
something that has
Guard.
to be done.
National Guard.
This is
Guard.
clearly, as
Guard.
the Vice President indicated, a national emergency.
My National Guard.
What I
Oh,
want
he almost said crisis and went, shit, that's the word he uses. Stop using that word.
to the virus, but also how we respond aggressively to the economic fallout of a global recession. So right now in Illinois,
Yeah.
if my memory is correct, the governor there has said they're closing down bars, they're closing down restaurants. What happens to the
Bars.
workers who are there? What happens to the millions of workers?
What happens to
who
all the-
Thank you. Holy shit, thank you.
So
I
what
enjoy
I
this
think
point.
we have got to do right now.
Yeah.
is if
The
Trump
strippers
can
cannot do it at home.
To provide $1.5 trillion
Yeah, they can. It's called Cam Girls.
for
You cannot shake that ass.
And guys
You've gotta say
and
to every
others.
worker in
And
America, you know what?
It is called
Don't
Cam.
panic.
Yes.
You'll be able to pay your mortgage
Senator,
because you're going to get a check. You're going to be made
Senator, we're going to
whole.
talk about the economic. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Vice
the
President.
answer is I would call out the military.
Okay.
Now, they have the capacity.
He wants to go military hard on now. Fuck you.
Hospitals
What are you
need-
He
gonna
wants
do?
to shoot the coronavirus.
He
I
does.
would make
He
sure
does.
That they did exactly what they're prepared
We will
to do.
liberate the coronavirus.
They did it in the
Someone at one point
Give him
told him if
something
you
to do.
microwave the cup someone gives you, it's safe. And he's like, I'll irradiate the
and
virus.
are intense, that are completely safe and secure, and provide the help to get it done to anybody, this overflow. So it is a national emergency.
I was talking about setting up military overflow medical
The Ebola
facilities.
crisis is one thing. This is
Okay,
obviously
I agree with that.
which is far more
I mean, you're gonna have to. Fuck.
Like, yes, please.
And
what
I
else
think
can you
one
do?
of the things that we want to remember
I cast magic missile on the coronavirus.
Yeah, basically.
Who's going to get food to them? You got schools all over this country now being shut down. Okay, how are we going to make sure that the kids do well in this?
How do we know they go to the right YouTube channel?
What do we do about
Has
that?
Not
everyone-
always on PewDiePie.
Has everyone noticed that having no audience already allows Bernie to talk like he's just kind of talking to people? And
Yes.
Biden is still doing his weird, like, talk at one volume. Like,
I gotta get mad because it's energy and it incites them and they think I'm not dead.
People are homeless tonight. Who's going to respond?
And now he's just winding himself up for no reason. Like, oh, does this robot always do that?
They did very well.
Hey,
For the
what's up,
people on
Dr.
top.
Q?
They bailed out
hi, Q.
the crooks on Wall Street. They forgot
Oh
about
shit, that's right.
the
Splor's
suffering
going.
for
Splor is good
ordinary
music. Check
This
them
time
out.
around,
If you're
let us
tired of this
make
shit and you can't
let us
anymore,
make
go check out
attention to the
Splor.
working
Thank you,
families.
Senator.
They're doing a musical speed running.
I know. I've been checking some of them out.
I'm gonna rip that off.
There should be surging help
I like
to
that
those
idea.
places which are the most.
We'll include one
Zombie
speed run in every
single
concert.
person that's in a nursing home being able to be tested. We should be moving forces in to do that. We should move in the capability to do that. We should be sitting down. The
Thank
president
you,
should be sitting down in the situation
Azariah?
right now and do what we did
Azria?
before
Azariah?
and asking the question.
We'll go with that.
Azariah.
Yeah, close
Yeah, that's about
everything.
right.
Close everything. How do
Yeah,
you
it's
get
pronounced Taco Guy.
prescriptions that have to be filled? How do you make sure when you close that school, those children are going to be able to get. The
I wish I could. I wish my lungs were healthy enough that I could just do a bong rip right now. That seems appropriate.
I propose that all of
Oh,
that
well.
be covered, and it's going to take a multi-billion-dollar program to do that. The first things first. The first thing is take care of the.
You know,
immediate
multi-billion
needs
is
we have
still
now
a small
related to
percentage
surging
of that
the kind of
1.5 trillion.
capability we have to prevent this great bump in terms of how
This great bump.
pain, as well as moving in the direction of making sure we have
I got a
long-term
subscription.
plans.
Thank you, Mr.
to
Vice
make sure
President.
it's
We're going to
taken
talk in a moment a lot more
Good.
about the economic impact of
Good.
this.
Call it out. We're in this together.
When this outbreak
It still
first
played
started
my
in
song,
China,
and I didn't know that would
the
happen.
government
I have
then
no idea who
censored
did
the
it.
whistleblower
That thing is
who
off.
sounded the alarm,
So-
downplayed the true gravity of the virus.
Right.
Thank
What
you, whoever that was. I love
consequences
you.
Should China face?
Yay.
Thank you.
Well, one of the consequences is we have got
That was a sound.
I make
cannot
those.
lie to the American people.
Hey, everyone.
You cannot be less.
Stop buying all the
about
goddamn
nature of
toilet
the
paper.
crisis.
You need
And
to
what
stop
bothers me
buying
very
so much
is you
toilet
have a
paper.
President of the United States
I gotta
today,
wipe my
Mr.
ass.
Trump,
We're not here to air condition the whole neighborhood.
for the good work that they.
You do not have a monopoly on
They were
Charmin.
lying to their own people and allowing
Those fucking
the virus
bears in the
to move
commercial.
much more
Take it all.
aggressively than should have been.
Guys, I bought a shit ton
Look,
of green
I don't think
screen
this
colored
is the
paint
time
today.
for
That has nothing to do with anything, but it
to be
happened.
punishing people.
Hey.
This is the time, by the way, to be working with China.
You should just
They're
start painting
already
yourself in front of the camera,
about
like.
this crisis.
Yeah, just don't.
And in fact, we have got to,
It's
we got to
like-
work with the World Health Organization. We got to work with Italy.
The World Health
Mr.
Organization.
Stark,
If there
I don't
was
feel
ever
so
a
good
moment
just fucking
when
painting.
the entire world is in this together.
Oh, audience. Bernie is so much better without an audience because there's no cheering, there's no bullshit. There's just what he says.
At the moment this broke out, that we should insist on having our experts.
I unfortunately don't think this is going to have much of a effect, but I hope I'm
Shut
wrong.
up. We need to never surrender.
know.
And we have to lead the world. We should be the ones doing what we did during
Oh,
the Ebola.
Pepper, do you
The
have
world
any?
events will affect it more than what this is.
Saying this
We
is what
just
must
bought one
do.
actually.
We have to have a common.
Congrats.
All nations
Thank
are
you very much.
affected the same
Really,
way.
it's all on Moore, but
How much?
It's
How
all in
much
his
did?
name.
How much did Moore's balls sweat signing that?
We need someone who
Oh,
knows how
well,
to
it
bring
was
the
a
world
fucking
together
$250,000
and
purchase.
insist on
All the streets on our
fundamental
house were like
changes in the way we approach it.
$300K, and ours was $220 something.
All the streets on our house. I want you to know you
Yeah,
just said
man.
that.
All the streets, they're at least. I mean, a street's expensive if you're gonna buy a street.
God damn it, the coronavirus is here.
Coronavirus is fucking up our interest rates. Actually, we haven't finalized it yet, but they're like, yeah, everything's insane right now. So like, your APR is gonna be a little fucked. We don't know what's going on.
On Earth has got to work together.
You're the only people buying a house right now.
The pharmaceutical industry. We tell the big money interests that this is not a time for profiteering.
Right, Corona. Yeah, coronavirus was pretty chill in our chat last time. I think if this is the same.
Very, very strong.
Who do we had? We had coronavirus and Ben Shapiro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
How long
it
ago
was-
was that?
That's true. Yeah, showed up in our stream. It was at least I think a couple of weeks ago. If, for instance,
Jesus Christ.
No, see, Pepper, you told the truth there. So that clearly couldn't have been Ben Shapiro.
Aw. Well, he says things that are like true in and of themselves, but are just like based on a nonsense premise that he makes up. He'd be like, if, for instance, 75% of gay people had AIDS, so you're like, well, let me stop you there. It's like he just says something ridiculous and then comes to an even worse conclusion based on it. That's his argument style.
We are going to have
Let's say, for instance, 1 in 10 people has coronavirus. You're like, well, wait, that's actually way more than actually okay.
Yeah.
We reward.
If only, let's say, 50% of people died from coronavirus. It's like, no, it's Ben.
The problem is,
What are you talking about?
You gotta like, come on.
We've eaten a lot of our seed.
Sorry, Biden's been talking, and I'm just. He looks like a delicious minty popsicle.
He does look minty fresh.
He said seed corn.
By the fact that we have
Someone got a boner from that.
little consequence now. They've already
Eating our goddamn seed corn, fucking birds.
Eating my goddamn corn. See,
level with the American people.
Coronavirus apparently.
good.
Yeah. Thank you, coronavirus.
Thank you for this good news, coronavirus.
Their mortgages are going to be paid.
Appreciate it.
Their rents are going to be paid. They're going to have child care. They're going to make sure.
Oh my God.
I think coronavirus is.
talking about.
medical bills are cared
I think
for.
coronavirus is lying to us,
We have
trying to
to
get
go
us
beyond
feel
that.
good.
And we're gonna
Yeah,
have
this
to
is
Let it
all.
goes down.
This is fake news, trying to get us to all calm down. Well, it's just testing. It's not like a cure.
Coronavirus,
wants to die. Perfect.
the only suicide ideation we support.
I mean, but if all viruses wished to commit mass suicide, I think we would all be okay with that.
And mosquitoes. And mosquitoes.
Well, we need those for the frogs to eat and the birds.
Not the ones with
not as many.
malaria.
In my view,
We don't need as many mosquitoes now.
exposes the dysfunctionality of our healthcare
Half of the
system.
mosquitoes.
All right,
How
we should
poorly prepared we
listen
are
to something going on at some point.
And the Ebola
Okay, yeah, sorry.
crisis is also, I think, exposing
And shut
the
down.
cruelty and the justness of our economy today. We have more income and wealth inequality in America today than
Oh,
any time in
well,
100 years.
I didn't realize we were going to
In the
get
midst
quiet
of
for
crisis,
this bit
if you're a
again.
multimillionaire, no
Some
one's
Bernie's
What's that?
greatest hits.
You're going to get through it.
Ah,
You're
yes.
gonna get everything you need. You're
Dude,
not worried
I will
about-
never stop playing
you're not
Bernie's
worried
greatest
about
hits.
income coming in.
Not since like
Half
18,
of
whenever
our
the hell
people
the
are living
Communist
in
Manifesto was written, have we stopped playing?
We got people who are
Like New
struggling,
Freebird.
working 2 or 3 jobs to put food on.
But
the
it's
table. What is
15
gonna happen to
minutes.
them? So the lesson to be
Birdie,
learned
we
is
need to
have
hear
got
billionaires
move
again.
aggressively right now
He
to
just did
address
that.
The economic crisis as a result of Ebola. As a result, keep talking about Ebola. You got Ebola.
Talking about Ebola.
Yeah. As a result of the coronavirus, what we have
About
got to do
Ebola.
also is
Talking about
understand
Ebola.
the
Talking about
fragility of the
Ebola.
economy.
Talking about Ebola with
How unjust
Biden.
and unfair it is
Smoky
that
Ebola
so
with-
few
okay.
have so much.
Let's go
That
bowling
so
and then
many
talk about Ebola with Biden.
People are looking for results, not a revolution.
Oh, you can't go bowling anymore. My dad and my brother just went bowling for the last time yesterday. They're like,
For the last, are they dead? Or are they like?
no, it
They
was
probably
today
have
'cause they're-
coronavirus
They
now.
lose the job.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I know. They don't think workers are people, so they can't give it to them.
Related to this crisis, we can make them whole now, and put in process a system whereby they all are made whole. That has nothing to do with the legitimate concern about income.
Turn that
equality in
tele thing
America.
off.
That's real. That's real.
How dare you.
But that does not affect the need for us to act swiftly
Hey,
not-
QH.
and very thoroughly and in concert with all the forces that we need to bring to bear to deal with the crisis now. So no one's kicked out of their home. No one loses their mortgage. No one is kicked out of their
There we
house.
go.
No one loses their paycheck.
No one's gonna have the effects of capitalism hurt them like
It's kind of
they
it's
will.
telling that Biden is talking about specifically just this very narrow, like we're going to help people now and in a very specific narrow time frame because of specifically the coronavirus. And Bernie's over here like, guys, all the issues we're having right now in this crisis are going to continue to occur like just over and over and over again. And like,
it is not
like, do people
good
see
enough
that? Is that as
not
obvious to everyone else?
understanding
No.
how
I mean, it's
we-
How Biden
obvious,
is
but
like-
that goes
where we wanna
against
go
the
into the
moneyed
future.
interests of his donors.
So how does
It's like
it
two different
happen
conversations.
Today, in the wealthiest country
Biden has to just talk about specifically this
Half of
one
our people
individual
are scared to
crisis
Good.
While the other dude is talking about, hey, how about if we do this, we won't have as many crises, and when they do show up, they won't be nearly as bad.
Because the people that are allowing him to get elected like their hordes of resources, no matter who it hurts. And they need more. They're always hungry, Pepper. They need to show growth. Infinite dick growth.
That's like those guys who bought all the fucking soap and were trying to sell it, and everyone's like, "Fuck you."
It didn't happen.
Like,
Amazon
but
shut them down.
I was doing the thing that how people get rich in this country. You hoard the resources and you sell it online.
A change in tax policy now.
By the way, do you all know what this background of mine is?
It's got to be
What is
solved
it?
with an emergency.
Well, that's a pot.
Right now. Right.
Yes, I know that.
That's a pot leaf. And then the other thing is the Ebola virus, because you said smoke Ebola.
Oh, wow, you whipped that shit up like instantly.
No,
Oh my
I
God.
searched for it instantly.
It was just, okay.
Smoke Ebola.
See, there's no such thing as an original thought.
Well, yeah.
They call me Big Dick Joe.
More hospital beds, more training, more.
He's worked up again, and it's like, if you invest in your infrastructure and you don't make people pay for medical school, you'll have more people going into that to help people.
Laid off today. How about that person who doesn't have an income today? They have to know that tomorrow.
How about the people that were systematically prevented from getting better incomes, and we're never going to be able to afford this?
About how we deal with making all those who have been badly damaged right again.
Oh boy.
And then we move on. Then
We're only going to repair the damage of the coronavirus.
Then we
in
go
a
back to
specific
normal.
instant. Yeah, then
Nothing like
class
we were doing
warfare.
before.
Hey, if you all like class warfare, y'all should go watch us.
First things first.
Thank you, Vice
We're going to get a time machine and roll this shit right back to 2015.
Oh, that's still not good.
I know, it's not, but they think it is.
Bills were a crucial part of stabilizing the economy back then. Would
Yes,
you
I made
support
Draggor watch
bailouts
Us.
for
It is very
industries
good.
that are being
Go watch
crushed
Us.
by the coronavirus?
Oh, it is fantastic.
Now?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Right, I voted against the bailout because I believed that the illegal behavior being done by the people on Wall Street should not be rewarded.
I don't know where
by a
Us is
bailout.
on.
Today, by
Yeah,
the way,
you probably
those
have to
banks
use the
are more
internet's.
prosperous
I did the immoral
and
thing, and I
assets
copyright
by and
infringed to
large
view
than
it
they
at
did
home.
Back then. They're bigger now than they were
Because
then.
that was the easiest thing for me to
I thought
do.
at the time that
Is he
Bernie's
go-
like a
massive
wintergreen.
income and wealth inequality for people on top.
He's a wintergreen
Surtax
against a
on the very
pomegranate
wealthy
grape
should bail out.
backdrop.
And it's not just the TARP bailout. We gave trillions of dollars.
It's like the Incredible Hulk of healthcare.
Banks. But to answer your
Biden
question,
is like
where we are
the
right
mint
now,
that's just like,
we need to
it's
stabilize
called like
the
ice.
economy.
If you get the
But we
icebreakers,
can't
it's like the
repeat
normal.
what we did in 2008. Joe voted for that.
And then he's
I voted
Bernie's
against it.
wintergreen.
Because we have got to do more.
Maybe
to
Bernie's
save
that,
the oil companies. Our job
race of
right now
aliens from
is to
fucking
tell
Dragon Ball
every
Z.
working person in this country, no
He's
matter
a
what
Mockery
color,
TV.
Piccolo
It is when
or
Joe
whatever.
Biden
I know.
speaks.
suffer
Speaks.
as a
Speaks.
result of this crisis.
Namek,
of which
a
you had no
Namekian.
control.
Yeah.
Had those banks
Oh my God, Namex were my gateway to furry. No joke.
Could be in deep trouble.
Yeah.
Deep.
It was
deep
for a
trouble.
lot.
All those little folks.
I mean,
Gone out of business.
I've
They
told
find
that story
themselves in a
before. I don't need to
position
tell
where
that
they lose
again.
everything that they
Silence
had
has a
in
great
that
point
bank.
in the chat.
It was
How it's
$10,
funny that
$300
an airline
savings
couldn't make it a week
This
living
was
paycheck to
about saving
paycheck.
an economy.
Like it's the whole thing of like
Save the
businesses
economy.
are
Yeah.
just not
And the
expected to be
banks paid
quote unquote
back, and
fiscally
they paid
responsible
back
and like
the
make plans
I
for when their
agree with
employees are
Bernie.
having an
Someone should've
emergency.
gone to jail.
They don't have
Oh.
to have an
That was
emergency
the
plan
big
fund.
because all the
Everyone-
money has to go to the owners and
But
investors.
the question
Yeah,
was,
every one of their
who paid
employees
back?
has,
In addition to that,
oh, this
it also
irresponsible
part of that
fucking
was
low-wage
bailing out
workers
the
not
automobile
having enough money
saving
to be able to
thousands
stop
of
working
jobs.
for half a
Hundreds of
year.
thousands of jobs at
Like, what the
time.
fuck?
He voted against that as well.
Only about
I did
like a
not
quarter
vote
of the
against
country
that.
could actually afford to
Bailout
just
money was
stop
used
working
later
for a
on by
quarter
Bush
for half a year,
to
if that.
protect the automobile industry.
Everybody else is
But
like,
here's
I got
the
like
point.
maybe
Wait
a
minute,
week
wait
or
minute.
less
Here's
of
the
emergency savings.
Wait,
is
there's
that
a
in terms
scuff
of
going on.
that
Oh, we're doing it.
Bailout. There are ways that you
Biden
can
talked
bail
about how
out
the
and
automotive
have
bailout was a
a
success.
handful of people who have incredible wealth,
Um.
who
And,
have prospered
like,
off
as
of
far as the
illegal
company
behavior
turning it back
of
around,
individuals. In this
Sure.
case,
Yeah.
on
Hold
Wall
up.
Street. You know what? You
Bernie's
say to me,
doing a
what I did?
hypocrisy
I said
slam.
this to the Secretary of Treasury. You want to bail out? That's fine. You have your friends pay for it, not working people. The other point is, as Joe should know, it wasn't just the $700 billion TARP program. The Fed gave trillions and trillions of dollars in zero interest loans to every financial institution in this country and central banks.
I'd like a
all
zero
over the
interest
world.
loan for my
That was essentially
college.
a grant.
Yeah,
I
it'd
would
be
like
cool.
a zero interest loan for fucking
They
anything.
could then bring interest rates
His
much
house.
greater than the zero interest loans that they got.
Yeah.
Vice President Biden.
Look, the fact of the matter is that if, in fact, the banks
Senator
had all
Sanders
been
kicked me in the balls.
gone under, we would be in a great depression.
Yeah, guys, the
We would have
banks.
not, how
They
did we get out of it?
saved us.
Now, Bernie's saying that I guess he's going to do a wealth tax or something, that the top 1%.
Or
Praise
something.
the banks.
A wealth
Gobble.
Wealth tax or
Billionaires
something.
shouldn't exist. Bernie is going to do a wealth tax or something? Fuck you.
Or something. I guess he's gonna go ahead and level out a little bit of that income inequality or something.
Can I droop my eyes any further, please?
Or something.
You can't just get that shit
Okay,
from
hold
your
up,
dad
what's that?
anymore. What the hell world are we in, man?
Vice President Biden, I'm going to stay with you. Many of the 11 million undocumented immigrants and even many legal immigrants in the United States are afraid to seek medical help. How do you ensure they feel safe enough to get treatment?
I mean, you have President Shithead being a fucking murderer and abuser and like, holy shit.
Gets coronavirus and is treated.
We have kids in cages and there's an outbreak going on.
Just like I've argued all along, any woman who crosses the border.
Like, we're not going to hear about how bad that is.
Oh, not for years. Nope.
Biden and Obama stuck more people in detention centers than frickin' Trump has at this point. It's just like not at the same time.
I have always been on record.
Biden has as shitty of a record.
think-
It's just, it's bad when Trump does it, but when Obama did it, it was like, oh, that's okay.
No,
There's some
Obama
of
should
that.
be put up for fucking war crimes and inhumane
exactly.
shit too.
We all believe that. I just want to remind people
There are
watching,
different
like,
levels, though.
Please don't lull yourself into like, everything was great under Obama and perfect. It's like, no, it was better. I would prefer Obama right now if I could just like make that happen with a snap of my fingers. But he did all kinds of bad things also that are still bad, and we should be able to get better than.
Proposal for Medicare for all that I introduced.
Yeah, Obama
includes
expanded
making
a
sure
bunch of
that
drone strike
undocumented
stuff.
People are also covered.
Like
and
scarily,
right now, we
that
have
President
the
Shithead
absurd
has been able to
situation
use.
where
And he put
undocumented
various
people who try to do the right thing. They're sick. They want
continued
to go to the
and
doctor,
expanded
they
the
want to
spying
stay
on all of us.
disease.
He
Are now standing and thinking
And that
about
bill is up
Very
again
exposed
right
in
now.
prison.
Have you
So
seen
one of
that?
the things that we have to do
They're
is
trying to
make
fast
sure that
track
everybody
through
gets
essentially like some sort
the
of,
healthcare that they need. That should
by
be a
default,
general
you are not allowed to use
above
end-to-end
and beyond
encryption,
the coronavirus.
which essentially means
Second of
HTTPS
all,
doesn't
we
work
gotta end
anymore.
These terrible ICE raids, which are terrorizing communities.
That is going through right now.
And thirdly, to
That's
answer
crazy.
the time is long overdue. For
I
this
hope
country
John
to move to
Oliver
comprehensive
tackles it because
immigration
he's got
That'd be
one hell
nice.
of an audience.
It doesn't matter. It could be 99% of the country wants it. It'll still happen. If it benefits people.
On day one,
Things
Net
like this
neutrality
one
was
has
more
enough
useful.
like Google and Microsoft that will fight it.
We'll talk about immigration in a
Hope.
minute, but first I want to.
They will. They already are.
Oh, here we go.
That's going on right now. Again, back to this crisis. We know that people over the age of 60 and those with underlying medical conditions, especially heart disease, lung disease, and diabetes, are the most vulnerable to coronavirus and are being asked to change their behavior to protect themselves. So, Senator Sanders, I'll start with you. You're 78 years old. You had a heart attack. What are you doing to protect yourself?
Doing lots of cardio.
Last night,
I got
we
the
had
Tybo.
a
Doing Wii
fireside
Fit ring.
chat, not a rally. I love doing rallies, and we bring many.
I love Dragon Daddy.
to our rallies.
I love Dragon Daddy.
When
I love Dragon Daddy.
In fact, our entire
He makes me
staff,
do more squats.
is working from
I'm like, I'm not gonna do it.
So
No.
personal
There he
level,
goes.
What we're doing is, I'm not shaking hands. Joe and I did not shake hands, and I am very careful.
Sun hugs with
about
Joe.
the people I am interacting with. I'm using a lot of soap and hand.
I'm using.
Bernie just admitted to hoarding soap, everyone. You heard it here first.
I went to the Costco and bought 7 million rolls of toilet paper.
I've been doing the GDP yoga.
I feel very.
President Biden,
Feel the bang.
what are you doing to protect
Thank you, Anti-Blue Fox.
I want to hear. I want to see
Talked about that I have to worry about.
Oh, hey, Allie.
Bernie feel the bang.
Thank God.
Feel the bang.
Feel the bang.
That I'm in good health. Number three, I'm taking all the precautions anyone would take, whether they're 30 years old or 60 years old or 80 years old.
I mean, I know a particular Corona Katie 30-year-old that proudly went to a crowded Red Robin to eat a
Oh,
burger.
fuck
The
that.
same thing. Our staff is all working
That was
from
pretty
home.
great.
We're not doing rallies any longer. We're doing virtual.
Apparently,
rallies.
that like
We're
people are
doing
saying gyms
town
are
hall
packed.
meetings.
They need
We're
to
in a
fucking close
situation
gyms
where
too.
That's
now
weird.
I do not, as I said,
Yeah.
when we encounter people.
I've been
That's
riding my
the
bike
ego
around,
of
but that
people.
involves only me.
So I'm taking all the precautions. everyone
Right.
else
Like, if it
should
gets
be
warmer
taking.
here here. I'm getting on my bike. I'm going to go to Lakeshore Bike Path. And
be outside, everyone. I mean, it's a little better and trying to be fucking close to each other, but like spread out along, the road.
Hey, Ellie.
Make sure I don't touch my face and so on. So I'm taking all the precautions we're told for everybody else to take.
We keep taking very small grocery store trips, and everyone else is doing big ones, so we just immediately go through the 15 items or less aisle.
I think if you can order groceries,
Senator
you should.
Sanders is calling for a political revolution. You said people want results, not a revolution. Make the case for why a revolution is not what the country needs.
Because you just got to pull your pants up.
This is where it's like, Joe, please appeal to your base on why the status quo is the way to go.
I know, it's just great.
His Medicare
Revolution.
Biden, would you like to recite your platform?
He hasn't told you.
I like the Beatles.
Yes, I would actually.
He hadn't told you how much it's going to cost.
That Imagine
Yes,
song
he
is
did say
dumb.
how much it's going to cost. It's on his fucking website.
It's very calculable. But on the other hand, it's impossible to know what anything costs to the government until you just fucking do it. That doesn't stop us from doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, we can't put 1.5 trillion into the fucking stock market unless we know exactly what it's going to do. Just do it anyway on a whim.
Diseases that are great consequence, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and cancer. Make sure that we have a
they're
Medicare
weird questions
option
for sure.
that's
Peanut butter
a
dog.
public option providing Medicare for us. We can do that now. I can get
Why is
that
it-
passed.
These questions are just things. Vote for me. I'm Joe Biden.
Wanting a small thing is a fucking revolution to these people.
Happens now. I can tell you from experience being a
Hey, can I go to a doctor? You are a revolutionary.
Yeah, you
A
crazy.
Che Guevara-esque ultra-communist.
Yeah.
4 years from now.
I just want to see the doctor.
Told us how he's going to pay for it. We're talking about
Not quite
$30+ trillion.
Sounds like Venezuela to me.
All right, look, let's do something that is very rarely
Oh, here he
done
is.
in the Congress. Let's do something that the
Let's
media doesn't do. Let's talk about the
Talk
reality
some
of
fucking
American life.
facts. Piece of
Why
shit.
is it that over the last 45 years,
Sorry.
despite a huge increase in productivity and technology, the average worker today is not making a nickel more in real
Yup.
life? Why is it that over the last 30 years, the richest 1% have seen a $21 trillion increase in their wealth, bottom half of America, $900 billion decline in their wealth? Why is it that we are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people as a human right? Why are we the only major country not to have paid medical and family leave? Why do we give tax breaks to billionaires when 500,000 people are homeless today? And it comes down to something, Jake, we don't talk about. The power structure in America. Who has the power?
Who has the
I'll tell you who
power?
has the
Not
power.
fucking us.
It's the people who contribute money, the billionaires who contribute money to political campaigns, who control the legislative agenda. Those people have the power. And if you want to make real changes in this country, if you want to create an economy that works for all, not just a few, if you want to guarantee quality health care to all, not make $100 billion in profit for the healthcare industry,
Invest in
you
the
know what you
food
need? You
manufacturers.
need to take on Wall Street. You need to take on the drug companies and the insurance companies and the fossil fuel industry. You don't take campaign contributions from them. You take them on and create an economy that works for all.
You want to do that? Do what I proposed over 30 years ago. Federally fund all elections.
Oh my God, it's the only thing he's...
Yeah, that's a good one. Federal election funding. Yeah.
Fine.
You got
Why
one,
did you
Biden?
never mention this?
Ping. Good. Make that the core of your campaign
This
thing, I
was-
guess.
This was like when Cory Booker punched Biden so hard he 180'd on marijuana.
Oh, yeah, that was
Stop
fucking
eating weed.
crazy.
He's like, you know what? Actually, yeah, weed's fine.
$44. Just this month, I've raised $33 million. Average contribution.
I mean, that's another. Yang did this in a really weird way, but he's like, oh yeah, every U.S. citizen gets like a tax credit, and they choose who it goes to, and that's how elections get funded. So I have my like, I don't know, $200 credit, and I can just give it to anyone. I just click on a form online or submit a piece of paper, whatever the fuck, and that much money, like 100 or two from every single U.S. citizen, could easily outweigh any big business that wanted to fuck around.
Get rid of the super PAC
Oh, wow.
that you have right now,
There you go.
which
Listen
is
to
running
this.
very ugly negative.
Get rid of the super PAC.
No, he's saying, join me.
It's just the truth. And they got two other super PACs running ads against us. Why don't you just say right now, go on television and say, hey, you know what? I think in the past, Joe, if I'm not mistaken, you condemned super PACs. Is that correct?
You get rid of the 9 super PACs you have?
I don't have 9 super. I don't have
You
any
have
super
9.
PACs.
You want me to list them?
No, yeah, you go ahead and list
Okay,
them.
come on. Give me a.
Go ahead.
No, I will.
No, they're not mine. I swear to God.
You condemn super PACs. You got a super PAC is running negative. But here's the point.
Those are yours.
is
No,
the
they're
point.
not.
In the richest country in the history of the world, half of our people should not be struggling to put food on the table. And the reason for that is you have a political structure in which big money interests not only dominate the political system, but dominate
Just a mile
our
away.
economy as well. Somebody
Yeah.
makes a decision. We're going to shut down a factory in America. We're going to move to China. We're gonna
When
move
has
to
Bernie
Mexico,
ever had
pay
this
people
level of
starvation
platform
wages
on
there.
TV to communicate
This is
like
an
this?
issue that has got to be ultimately.
This is all it
Who
takes,
has the
yo.
power in America?
List of companies,
With so
eh.
few,
That's a
exercising
lot
so
of
much
names.
Did he say nah? Is that what he
so
said?
many
I couldn't
people
hear.
have given up on the political process.
I proposed a significant change in the tax code, and I've been proposing it for a long, long time. Number one. Number two, it's not.
You were
just
VP and
about
you didn't do it,
taxing
so,
the super wealthy. It's about making sure everybody pays their fair share. For example, I can pay for my whole health care plan by changing the way in which we deal with capital gains. People should pay their capital gains based on what their income tax is, and not at 20%. That would raise $800 billion. Pay for my.
I'm actually kind of
entire
surprised they didn't
medical
cancel the whole
healthcare
debate
plan,
because,
which
like,
would cover
who would that
everything.
benefit?
The fact of the matter is, everything
Yeah.
I call for, I pay for. And I do not believe, and I have not
because
supported
you had
these
cities
exorbitant
leading up
tax
to
cuts for
it
the wealthy. I strongly oppose
basically going
the,
like, no, the
the
election
tax
will
cut
go
that this
on.
president
America
put
will go on.
$1.9
So, like,
billion.
you're gonna hand
And I
that to
said
the
at the time,
Republicans?
This is all about trying to eliminate the safety net. Look, the idea
That'd be bad.
that Bernie implies, the way he says things, speaking of negative ads, my Lord, Bernie, you're running ads saying I'm opposed to Social Security, that PolitiFact says is a flat lie, and that the Washington Post said is
Here
a
comes
flat
a fucking
lie.
Well, let me ask
pearl
you a
clutching.
question, Joe.
Yeah.
You're right here with me.
Yeah,
Have you
Pearl
been on
clutching.
the floor of the Senate? You were in the Senate for a few years.
yeah.
Time and time again talking about the necessity, with pride, about cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting veterans programs.
No,
You never said that.
no.
All right. America, go to the website
Let's run the
right
clip.
now. Go to the YouTube.
Go to the website. Google
Yeah.
that shit, America.
You were not
Get
a
on
fan
the
of
Google.
Bill Simpson?
Get on the Google. Look at my link.
Right there. Twitter.
My
post
wife
it.
is posting it right now. I know
wife-
she's on it.
Come on, Joe, you won't.
She has her
You're
tablet.
an honest guy. Why don't you just tell the truth here? We all make
Typing on an
There we go.
iPad.
I'm telling the truth. You said that I, in fact,
Go to the
Why
YouTube.
am I rated 96% by the Social Security Organization? Why am I viewed as a strong?
All that I said-
I have laid out how I will increase Social Security.
Well, that's good.
benefits.
I laid that out.
I have laid out how I'm going to make
Okay, let
sure
me-
that it is in fact paid for.
Jake.
Go to joebiden.com. Look
Go to the YouTube.
with Paul Ryan.
All right,
his desire
someone,
to
I can't do this right now, but if someone goes and finds the YouTube link, like send it to one of us or get it to Allie
Stick it in
and
the
Allie
chat.
will get it to one of us.
Just post in the chat.
Post in the chat. It should just
straight
work.
with the American people. I am saying that you have been on the floor of the Senate
Like, I want to.
and time again.
Let's hear it.
Talking
Let's see
about
it.
the need
Bernie's calling it out. Let's
Social
follow up.
Yeah.
Medicare and veterans programs. Is that true or is that
No,
not
it's
true?
not true. What
That is
Why
not
do you
true?
fucking
that is
keep?
not true.
Oh
What
my
is
god.
true is
He wants to get him to say over and over how he's like, is that not true? And he's like, no, it's not true. And then you can put that shit right next to the clip.
I did not support
Yeah.
any of those cuts in Social Security or in veterans
Whoa,
benefits.
whoa. Everything was on the table. All right, you're right. You just said it, including, in your judgment, cuts to Social Security and veterans.
In order to get the kinds of changes we need on other
Okay.
things related.
Joe, then
But
you
it-
just-
We gotta
but
cut it.
Did not cut it.
Just
I
say
know.
it, Joe. You got to cut
People
Medicare.
Like me help stop that. But Joe, you just
on, Bernie.
contradict.
Oh!
You just contradicted yourself. 1 minute, one minute you said I was not on the floor. The next minute you say,
No.
well, yes, there was a reason why I was worried about the deficit. Maybe that's good reason, maybe it's not. All that I am saying is you were prepared to cut and advocated for the cuts of programs.
Let's just
So let me-
say, I did not. I never voted to cut Social
Not talking about voted, Joe. That's not what I
never
said.
voted. Well, look, I voted to protect it.
I love how
was the
specific he's
protect
being.
vote
It's like, I didn't say you voted.
Paul Ryan,
I said you
Vice
said.
President.
Yeah.
Look at what
I said
did.
you're on the Senate
Bernie,
floor saying
you
this.
acknowledge.
Not that you
Your
voted.
campaign took out of context. that
All
whole
right, we've got
exchange
one
between Paul
from
Ryan. You're
Marama
saying
Fox.
PolitiFact
Let's
is wrong.
go.
You're saying
Yeah,
the
well,
Washington
believe me, the
Post
Washington Post PolitiFact is wrong a whole lot of times. But
No, we're on the next one already.
Okay.
Are they wrong on that, Bernie?
Joe,
It's posted in the.
Joe, wait a minute. I'll answer your
Chat.
question. You answer mine.
I answered yours.
No, you didn't.
All right.
One more time.
Here we go again.
Time and time again, for whatever reason, talking about the need to cut Social Security and Medicare and Veterans programs.
No, I did not talk about the need to cut any of those programs.
Okay, all that I would say.
I did
to the
not.
American
Oh, hi,
people,
Mark.
Go to YouTube. It's all over the place. Joe said it many, many times, and I'm surprised. You can defend that or change your mind on it, but you can't deny the reality.
So, Senator, because you brought up Social Security
Yeah.
and you've been talking about it, I want to ask you about something that you wrote in 1996. You were a member of the House, and you wrote an op-ed that said, quote, "It is clear we will have to make incremental adjustments in Social Security taxes and benefits."
Yeah.
Why are your past comments any less relevant than
Incremental
things that the Vice
adjustments. What I
President-
advocated, adjustments that I advocated and have advocated for years, is, among other things, increasing the cost of living assistance.
Increasing. Bitch, I want to give you more money.
We determine COLAs.
You think you got me there?
Inflation for the general population.
Your pockets are looking a little light.
It's adjustments.
For prescription drugs.
Did anyone-
and for healthcare. That's
This
what I was
has
talking
to,
about.
like, other than everyone being told to stay home, this has got to be good for Bernie, man.
I know. Anyone watching it? Oh, yeah, everyone's sitting at home right now. More people are probably going to watch.
But they got to go and vote for him is the thing.
Yeah.
And there's these long lines, which
Sunday,
are
right?
COVID risks.
Security caucus to say no.
So, like,
20% of our
fuck.
seniors are trying to get by on $13,000.
The people who are more willing to disregard the COVID advice are the ones that are going to vote for Biden.
President Biden. Yesterday, you endorsed an Elizabeth Warren plan that would undo key parts of the bankruptcy law you helped pass in 2005. A few hours ago, you announced support for making public college tuition free for families who make less than $125,000 a year, something Senator Sanders has supported. What changed?
Two things. Number one, let's talk about the bill.
I want to win.
The bankruptcy bill was passing overwhelmingly, and I improved it. I had a choice. It was going to pass at a Republican president, Republican Congress.
I ran it by the
offered
billionaires.
2 amendments to make sure that people under $50,000 would not be affected, and women and children would go to the front of the line on alimony and support payments. That's what I did. It passed overwhelmingly. I did not like the rest of the bill.
Alimony.
I improved it, number one. Number two,
I didn't like what they were actually
Senator
trying
Warren about her
for.
proposal. This is the first opportunity we've had to make substantial change in what we couldn't get done in a Republican administration. That's why we talked 2 nights ago, and I supported her proposal. And it's a good proposal. It's a solid proposal. And she should get credit for having introduced it. With regard to what we're talking about in terms of college education, I've been saying for a long time that we're in a position where 12 years of education is not enough for the 21st century. We need 16 years of education. The exact bill that Senator Sanders introduced, I guess
Bernie's
over a year
like,
ago,
He's ready, man.
Oh, man, his pants might be wet.
You could get free.
Wit?
You gotta
I
say.
gotta take a piss.
You'd have to pay
No,
for your
he's
college
dribbling in
Or is he just
excitement.
enjoying how weird his answer is?
And it would work for public universities in your state. I support that idea. It was a good idea, and I support it. And
Because I support good
that's what
ideas,
it
and
is.
that was a good one.
I'm not saying everything Bernie said has been wrong. He happens to be right on that one.
Senator Sanders, I
background,
assume you
Draggor.
welcome these changes.
It's doom time.
This is a little bit about leadership as well. Joe talked about bankruptcy. Joe, if my memory is correct, you helped write that bankruptcy bill.
I did not.
I would not, I could
That
not.
bankruptcy bill, by the way, when we talk about education, we got 45 million people struggling with student debt.
How did we get 130 out of nowhere?
Struggling with student debt. And that bankruptcy
Where did
bill
these people come
made it
from?
impossible, very difficult for people to escape from that student debt. It was a very, very bad bill. You said, Joe, that a majority of the people in the Senate voted for it. You're right.
Overwhelming majority.
Overwhelmingly. Well,
Holy
I voted
shit.
against it in the House, and I was right. And I don't
I
have to
did not.
rethink my position because that's what leadership is about, having the guts to take an unpopular
Ah.
vote. But it's not just
Because I just have fucking good judgment, and my name is Bernard Sanders.
Wait, what? One stream went down?
Joe, glad you're coming around now. 4 years ago,
Well, we're here now, baby.
that public colleges and
hi.
universities
They didn't do their color shit.
Hello, everyone.
Quick, shift the colors crazier. They're too normal right now.
Yeah.
What do I have to do? Gamma? No.
No, just change the shade.
Direction. And I'm glad that Joe is on board. But what leadership is about is going forward when it's not popular.
Put more shit on the screen. Talk more over it.
Okay. There we go.
This is the most interesting part. I want to hear what he says.
And I'm proud
We're
of my
at-
leadership on many issues. Joe, since the campaign
Excellent.
has come around, I talked about raising that minimum wage $15 an hour 4 years ago, Joe.
So did I, and I went out and campaigned
$15
for it.
an hour?
$15 an hour, New York City.
No Shrek, only Martian
not-
Manhunter.
I'm
Martian
not
Manhunter.
aware of that.
All right.
I am not aware
You
of that.
should be aware. Look.
All right.
Oh, you should be aware. Go cock to the governor.
People in Congress were talking about it.
I
Go
wasn't
ahead,
in
Vice
Con-
President.
Well, here, look. Let's get something straight about the bankruptcy bill. The bankruptcy bill already, it did not affect student debt for 90% because the law had already been passed. You could not declare bankruptcy for those loans that were from private institutions. You couldn't do it. And so the bankruptcy bill didn't affect that. It affected 10% of the people.
Joe just turned into a running zombie.
10% of the
Yes, he
students.
did.
And it's kind of appropriate.
Now we're in a position where we're able to correct
Holy
that
fuck.
problem. The fact is, if I hadn't stepped up and changed the law as it relates to people making less than $50,000, those who for alimony and child support, then guess what? They would have been in the bucket too. It was going to pass.
I got a bucket for everything.
Let me finish. I made
That's
it
almost like
incrementally
binders
better.
full of women.
I did not like the bill. I did not support the bill.
That goes in the Biden bucket.
I didn't like the bill. Number two, this bill now calls for the opportunity to fundamentally change the mistakes we couldn't correct in the bill the first time around. And that is why I support Elizabeth Warren's idea. And it's a very good idea.
Senator Sanders, go ahead.
Well, this is kind of circular logic. We're going to reform.
All right, we're going to fuck with it a little bit more.
Well, if you hadn't voted for it, and if you had rallied other people, as I tried to
Damn,
do
that's some
in
vaporwave
the House,
candidacy.
voted against it.
Holy shit, we have 120 people. Everyone's
What?
screaming
Hi,
down.
guys.
Hi, everyone. This is what we do. We're Bernie fans, but at the end of this, I have a case, and I hope people do hear it. If Biden gets it, there's a reason to still go with that, no matter how much it's not the immediate right move.
It was, gay marriage today is considered a little bit differently than it was 25 years ago.
There we
I
go.
remember that.
Buy my new Horse Fetus album. There you go,
I voted
Pepper.
against the Defense of Marriage Act. You voted
Hey, we aren't just talking for our own fucking sake, by the way. It messes up the audio filter, so we can't be silent for
true.
too long.
It does.
in Iraq, which was
It just
also-
so
Trying to
happens.
time it
You
though.
voted for it.
Yeah.
I voted against disastrous trade agreements.
Oh yeah, we're going on Bernie's.
I mean,
vote
you're
records,
here,
Which
so.
cost this country over 4 million good-paying jobs.
But yeah, check out Pepper Coyote's stuff, youtube.com/Draggit Show. Subscribe. I'm Draggor2K on Twitter, and I've got my Twitch stuff here. And yeah, I do Doom stuff. We all do weird, goofy, awesome things.
We can argue about
Check out local creators.
It takes
Don't
courage.
listen to what
Especially when we're all
capitalism wants
stuck
you to
inside.
check out.
We can argue about the past, the future.
Fight the
I
algorithm.
voted against the Brady bill 5 times. Background checks.
There we go. Yeah.
5 times.
Stay in your house.
Number 2, this
Stay in your
man
house.
is only one of the few Democrats I know who voted to
Yeah, check out Pandez Panda on Twitter. Anyone who wants to
talk about a special,
spam your stuff in the chat, you've got like 5 minutes. Go. Quack quack honk. I want to see your link there. Dez, your stuff.
Send us all the entertainment you're going to send us from your house.
Exactly.
He says it was a mistake now.
If you're lucky enough to have a
He
house.
says it's a mistake.
Well,
the question is, what do we do from this point on? And by the way, I might add, I'm the first person to go on national television in any administration and say I supported gay marriage. I supported gay
eventually.
marriage when asked. And
But on television,
started a ripple
like
effect. I'm not
Bernie
taking all the credit
got.
for it, but I'm the first major player to
Bernie's
say,
got what,
I
like
support
20 years
gay
ahead of
marriage on
Biden fighting
national
for it?
television.
Yeah, I believe so.
Or am I exaggerating a little far?
We can
I
argue,
don't know.
this
Maybe 10.
or that bill. But what I'm suggesting is that in this time,
All right, we got Quack Quack
we're
Honk's
living in a
Patreon.
really
Check
Thank
that
you, Ace.
out.
unsettling world, economically, from a healthcare perspective with the coronavirus.
Thank you for
People of
clearing that
America
up.
know my record. Okay? For 30 years, I have stood with the working families of this
Even
country.
Obama initially
I've
was
taken
still
on
what many
every
today would
special
consider
interest
neutrally
there is
shitty
out
on the
there,
topic
And that is what I will do.
because he
Why- that's a
centrist
very
his way
different record than
into
yours.
That is not a different record. than
making
mine.
an
That is a
ultimately
totally
good
different
move.
record than yours. All right? I mean, and it's manifested in this campaign when you're, getting all this money from wealthy people and
well, Obamacare was a result of like constant shutdown of anything that was tried.
Also, it's Romney care.
The White House, what I've done.
It's a Republican plan.
And that is take on special interest. I think I'm that candidate.
Average campaign contribution $44.
Let's talk about the future, Vice President Biden. If you become the Democratic presidential nominee, how will you appeal to supporters of Senator Sanders when you do disagree on so many issues?
He's making it hard for me right now. I was trying to give him credit.
He's not being nice. Yeah.
He's not respecting his elders despite being older, I think.
I want to make it clear. If Bernie's a nominee, I will not only support him, I will campaign.
That line does not work without an audience.
Hey, did you hear what Joe just said?
Will do the same
I'll support him and I'll pay for him or something?
No, and I will campaign for him.
Is Donald Trump. It's critical.
Well,
and I want to hear what Bernie has to say about this, because there's a lot of Bernie or bust folk out there. And
followers to, in fact, support me as well.
I don't like it, but I can't do it.
Of the nation is on the ballot. It goes well beyond whether or not Senator Sanders and I both agree we need health care should be a right.
He almost said Medicare for all. He almost said it.
Holy shit.
We both agree we have to deal with education and access to education.
Access to education? What the fuck does that mean?
Access to education means if you have the money, you get to go.
We all have access to yachts, guys.
Yeah.
We all have access.
Fundamentally disagree with this president.
I took a horrifying shit on a yacht once. That was a proud moment for me.
Cut Medicare, not Bernie. The president.
I'll cut you if you cut Medicare.
Much bigger than whether or not I'm the nominee or Bernie's the nominee. We must defeat Donald Trump. He is the
but Joe, you're not going to win over the people.
Yeah, exactly.
Change the nature of who we are as a nation.
If you just say more 2016, they'll be like, oh yeah.
Essential.
Biden, adopt all of Bernie's policies, and I'll be super excited to vote for you.
Yeah.
Can I just say a word, then I'll respond to you?
Well, it's just a quick question, which is, if he is the nominee, Vice President Biden, you've already said you would support him. Of course. But will you campaign for him? Will you urge your supporters to
on day
one,
of course.
I announced my candidacy. What I said is this country cannot deal with
good.
a president who is a pathological liar, who is running a corrupt administration, who obviously doesn't know the Constitution of the United States, who believes it's above the law, who is a racist and a sexist and a homophobe. He is the most dangerous president in the modern history of this country.
Look around you right now.
Day one. Then obviously I hope to win the nomination. But if I don't win the nomination, and I think every other Democratic candidate is prepared to come together to do everything humanly possible to defeat Donald Trump. But let me respond to something that Joe said. We talk about the Green New Deal and all of these things in general terms.
The Rainbow New Deal
make a difference. What I have said throughout this campaign, and I don't think I've heard you say this yet, Joe, is that if we are going to if we're going to save this planet,
New Deal Democrats
and future generations.
Hey, yeah, but Joe's a Republican back then.
The greed of the fossil fuel industry.
Not literally, or was he?
Make it clear to them that they are short-term profits.
No, never literally.
Never literally.
Of this planet, and we have a very detailed detailed proposal. Happy to get the endorsement of the Sunrise Movement, the young people.
We're going to get into the Green New Deal. Okay. We're going to talk about climate change. We have to squeeze in a quick break. When we come back,
quick break. Y'all can entertain. I'm going to refuel my water and a drink.
Okay.
I got myself a gosh darn watermelon and kiwi truly because the grocery store was not out of the true essentials. There was still White Claw. There was, I think Truly has a little bit more flavor to it, so we're trying this. This is the tropical version edition. Even though I don't know if watermelon is a tropical fruit.
Oh man, maybe I should be drinking the White Claw.
Kiwi is, I guess. I love White Claw a little bit. How about you guys? Everybody in the chat, what's your opinion of White Claw? I assume if you're gonna vote, you're probably 21. You could be 18, 19, 20, but Sue says they prefer the no audience debate format. I also do as well, honestly. It's pretty cool seeing just... It's weird that, Bernie kind of has a few modes. He has, his rally level, and he has, debate with an audience level. And now he's using his, I'm standing in his fireside chat level where he's just talking. He's talking at, like a normal volume, like a normal person. And I don't know. I hope people respond to that. I do. I like that. I'd rather that than people yelling at me. Biden is just in his same only gear. He's like a bike without multiple gears. He's just the same. I am going to talk really loudly, and I'm going to say the thing, and I'm going to gesture in a repetitive rhythm, and then, hey, like,
it's like, who you want in charge? The guy going, ah! Well, it's more than that, of course.
That's the argument they make about some people, but it doesn't seem to apply to Joe Biden for some reason.
Yeah.
If everyone else does that, they're unhinged and like too emotional. But
so fucking true.
No, it's pretty excellent watching him go, hey, you said this. What did you mean by that? And like, I didn't say it. It's like, yes, you did. It's on the internet, and we can all look it up immediately right now. Why did you say it? Like, I love that. Why have we not seen more of that? Like, it's like Twitter. Please put up 15 different angles of him saying the thing that I know he said.
Yeah. Like,
I want more of that. That's my favorite thing.
Like, yes, you are accountable for what you did then. And even Bernie outright said, "Oh, are they back?" Or is
I was a young boy then.
I mean, like in the 90s, it was hard to find these clips. You have to wait for like the news to dig it up or some shit. But now everyone can do that from exactly where they're sitting, and I like that.
Well, and I want that as a gateway to explaining why you changed your mind, because we need to get to, Pepper, you were the one that really like did the whole, if you're looking to get out from the Nazi fur thing, like, we'll welcome you back. You just need to not say and do those things.
Yeah, you just gotta change the bad part.
Liz Warren was a Republican, and then she went, gosh, this isn't lining up with how I see the world, and has evolved accordingly. So, like, I want to encourage evolving and changing your minds and changing your ideas.
Yeah. By all means, I mean, no one in the universe is, like, perfect and has always thought correctly, and sometimes the things that you think are correct your whole life turn out to be incorrect because we learn new information, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm not into purity tests, and I'm not into like essentialism.
Yeah,
I think
just think about how much your own. Yeah, just think about how much your own views has changed over time, and you might be actually shocked.
I think all of us did. All of us go through the libertarian dip, as I kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
Kinda. You're neutral, kind of whatever, don't care about politics. Then you're like, libertarianism makes a lot of sense. And then you slingshot your way into leftism from the basic ideas of like, the government does some bad shit. And you're like, wait.
Yeah. I played around with it. Then I realized that they kept on saying, you have that right now. And basically there's this false equivalency everywhere in the libertarianism. It's insane. And then there's magically charity will take care of that answer is almost applied to everything. It's insane.
It's the like socially libertarian views that seem to attract some people for a bit. Should I say people like me for a bit, where I'm like, oh, you should be able to marry another guy. What the fuck? Who even cares? But the people who say that I found first were libertarians, because I was on the internet and I'm like a white guy looking up like AMVs on Newgrounds. So
some BioShock shit.
Then luckily I went to college as a music student and happened to be around people who are diverse and fun and good. And I'm like, oh wait, we are all God's children.
Mine was always the free speech angle, like Lenny Bruce, George Carlin. And I used that as a reason to say things I never should have.
From undecided Democratic voters.
I didn't understand the nuance.
Who is a law professor.
We are back, by the way.
Chandler, Arizona.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure.
I'm not sure. I hear things. I don't see.
Oh no, it's going.
Canaries in the coal mine of the
Oops, sorry.
conservative
There we go.
agenda. Our access to health care is at
We're
risk
talking about women.
from the Federalist Society's remaking of the courts. Our lives are threatened by abusive partners' access to guns. Women are disproportionately affected by bail requirements, Social Security cuts, and cuts to public education. How will your cabinet ensure the best advice on issues that affect women's physical and financial health? Thank you.
Isn't Joe on record saying he wouldn't necessarily defend Roe v. Wade? Or no?
Last I heard, over half of the people in America are women, and that will be the representation in my cabinet and my administration. And in terms of policies, unlike Joe, I have consistently believed, and have a 100% lifetime voting record from groups like NARAL, that it is a woman's right to control her own body, not the government. I have believed that we have got to move.
I'm glad that that's like a duh at this point. Like everyone's on the same page with that. When I was younger,
it's not.
That was still up for debate. No. With Democratic candidates.
Made the case.
Like Joe is, of course, now, but not always.
Yeah, you can't right now come up here and say, like, you know what? I think abortion actually makes you go to hell. Like, you can't do that right now.
We need
and that was not like that in even the late 90s, early 2000s.
Affordable, high-quality child care. So women who are single or married can go off to work and know that their kids are going to be well taken care of. So I think if you look at my agenda, which is on berniesanders.com, what you will find, it is a very strong agenda.
Apparently, LMAO Biden is trending on Twitter.
Incredible
LMAO.
by Trump and Republican governors.
Joe Biden in the House tonight?
Please.
Yes, thank you.
There you go. We both made the same joke.
The underlying premise of Amy's question. Number one, I committed that if I'm elected president, have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts. It's required that they have.
So support the first black.
Now.
Okay.
It's long overdue.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's
If I'm elected
there's
president,
anti-choice black female judges.
Yeah. Do her opinions suck? Like.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Kamala Harris? Is it going to be a cop?
Is it going to be that lady who works for fucking T-Pain?
Number three.
Is it going to be Corona Katie?
Oh, what's her name?
Oh, I know she's
Candace Owens. Are you going to force Candace Owens?
Oh, not Candace Owens.
She's a black female. It fits that criteria. Like,
I would get the boyfriend accepted.
it's just weird, like, to frame it that way. It's like more female prison guards.
Frubat. I never thought I would consider myself even toying with the idea of anarchy, but it's basically, for those who don't know, is getting rid of hierarchy, and that's a whole thing into itself.
Pepper, what is furry?
What is
social anarchy? You've described it before. What system is furry?
Oh, I think that furry is organized in an anarchical way, in that there is no overarching structure or institution that you have to appeal to make a fur con or be a furry or organize a furry event. You just do it, and then the people around you decide if it succeeds or not by either lending their efforts or not. That's anarchical organization, as opposed to like corporate organization or those are the ones most familiar with, or like franchise organizations. It's not like you buy into furry corp.
That if we're going to have public
but if you don't own a fursuit, then you're not really a furry. And
yeah, right. Okay, sorry, I've been talking too long.
Requirement that
we can listen again.
We're green and minty fresh again.
The money could not have coverage under healthcare.
This is more radioactive.
Number two, and I've done that. I did that a while ago. Okay, number one. Number two, I would send immediately to the desk of the United States Congress when I'm elected president, if I'm elected president, a codification of Roe v. Wade amended by Casey. Because I think it is a woman's right to choose. I think it's a woman's
QQH same
to make that decision. And in fact, I've gotten 100% rating from NARAL as well.
Senator Sanders, before we move on, I just want to.
But part of me doesn't care what my dad thinks anymore.
Oh, here we go.
I know my record of late from NARAL has been 100%. I don't know whether it was 25 years ago.
Well, all right. I mean, I think one of the differences, not to pick a bone here, is I have been consistent. All right. I've always believed in that.
Pick that bone.
You have not. I'm glad you have changed.
The bone will be picked.
Senator, just to be clear, the vice president committed to picking a woman as his running mate. If you get the nomination, will you?
In all likelihood, I will. For me, it's not just nominating a woman. It is making sure that we have a progressive women, and there are progressive women out there. So my very strong tendency is to move in that direction.
Let's turn now
God damn, he's just so fucking honest.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, probably. I mean, like, that's what I want to do, but I have to make sure it's a good candidate. You're like, what a real answer.
Like, were we supposed to pick him by now?
Being honest
yeah, probably,
is
but I gotta
easier.
find I know.
It's easier.
Will you make tonight that as president, you won't deport millions again?
Number one, I said that it took much too long to get it right. And the president did get it right
too much
by
too long.
DACA, as well as making sure that he tried to protect parents.
At least he's not trying to say, like, no, I didn't.
Moving on an immigration bill as well. The fact is that we already had a vote on immigration.
How far into this are we? We are Heading
Hour
and some
15.
change. And it's going to
Was
be
it 2
done
hours?
in another 45, 2 hours.
Okay.
As I speak right now. But I will send to the desk immediately.
There need to never be crowds ever again for a debate. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Folks, number one. Number two,
I agree.
the first 100 days of my administration, no one will be deported at all. From that point on, the only deportations that will take place are commissions of felonies in the United States of America.
So to be clear, only felons get deported and everyone else has to stay.
Yes.
No crowds till June. Yeah, that's pretty. That's a pretty good estimate.
The only crowds I will allow is like an agreed upon panel of experts that can go, yes, that stat is true. No, that stat is not true.
Comments about
Look, I was gonna if the cons were on, I was gonna go personally because like I need money because we live in a society. We live in a society that requires me to pay rent every month, and I'm actually very happy they became canceled because I would love that now I have no excuse, and I can continue to participate in social distancing. And
I
not be made a hypocrite.
I don't know where
Day
things
one
are at.
didn't leave the fucking house.
I had to. I was out of food. I had to do the one grocery run.
But in terms of immigration,
I really hope they don't cancel Anthrocon. That'll fuck me up.
Yeah, but as Kaga just said yesterday on the stream, we don't know. We don't know. Proceeding as if we are.
If it's still bad, they'll cancel it. I'm sure they're not gonna. They're gonna make. He's a man of science.
Yeah, and he was incredibly honest about it. And like the cons that move instead of cancels, probably because they have no choice.
So does that mean WrestleMania is officially canceled now?
No, do WrestleMania with no audience, please.
Yeah.
So cool.
I want to see Bray Wyatt fight Cena in a fucking abandoned Hooters. Did you see that?
What?
No.
He challenged John Cena.
Wait. Back to politics, please. We can talk about that shit later.
Okay.
And with that, let's shift some colors, shall we?
Oh, fuck.
But the bottom line is, right now, you have in this country people who have
I like
been here
Simp
for decades.
Sanders.
They're working hard. They're raising their kids. They're an important part of our agricultural economy, our construction economy.
Oh, we're talking about immigrants.
These are good people.
Yeah, it's going to be devastating for Vince because he doesn't believe in sickness.
End that terror and end the ICE raids and move toward a path.
Yeah, well, someone's going to show him what it's going to cost him if he breaks it. Potentially, like it might involve police. If it was in Illinois, it sure as shit would. Fucking Mayor Lightfoot coming out saying we will use police force to break up events who disobey the 1,000 or greater ban.
And by the way, right after
Like, that was awesome. Illinois is really leading the charge on we're going to work on it now. They have bills.
See all the Chicagoans die.
Well, yeah. Elections will continue, and they have things in works for repayment for lost wages and jobs, but it's still like
with regard to your issue
in the works.
Question relative to whether or not I would deal with supporting the border. Look, we can deal with
the border
by national technical.
Do you support the border?
All the bad things are coming through ports of entry right now. We don't need a wall.
Bad things, man.
I would immediately, as president, surge to the border. I would end this notion for the first time in history that people seeking asylum have to be in squalor on the other side of the river and in a desperate situation. They should be able to come to the United States.
That's usually why they leave.
Judgment made is whether or not they qualify. I would also surge to the border. Immigration judges to make decisions immediately. And no one
border surge
while waiting for their hearing.
Senator Sanders?
I mean, those two things he said are good. Holy fuck, we need more judges down there, goddamn. And yeah, they should be allowed to like come in, have their thing, like do the system. You give them their fucking date. You say, go ahead, come back here in a month, and we'll look at your shit. And if they run away, it's like, it is like I don't really care that much.
Every last one of those people are still paying sales tax.
They end up paying sales tax. They buy things. They only support the economy. They send that money to Mexico. Like, oh god, like just let people try to exist, and then give them like a relatively quick and cheap way to become a citizen if they want to. Like within 3 years, fuck, that should be very doable.
You don't need to deal with this mental stress. You're going to take in slightly less overall. Oh, wait, you're at this level. No, you're not. But you have to do selective service.
Brings our people together, black,
which I don't agree with, but
I'm okay with like kicking out serial killers and shit. I'm not an idiot, of course, but it's a very low percentage of people coming here.
Yes, Vandez would like to become a citizen,
right?
Yeah, Jesus, why not? He wants to live here. He is every definition of productive you could reasonably have.
He's a fucking pharmacist.
I missed. Wait, shit. Bernie just gave a fucking.
Oh, we're Duncan.
When you have that process, is that not only the.
What was the question? Shit. We were on a tangent.
We'll figure it out.
Scared to death in America when they come home from school that their mom or dad may not be there. Maybe.
Oh, more deportation.
What we need to do.
I'm touching my face because I fucking washed my hands recently.
Yeah,
I'm free to face touch.
Free to face touch.
Hey, thank you, Alkali.
And we need to.
Hi, Alkali.
Also, hi, Alkali. You're here. Holy shit.
It's the.
Alkali, this debate is every debate needs to not have an audience ever again. Done.
Yep.
We've all thought it, we've all suspected it, but this is proof.
And end this demonization and divisibility.
Bernie gets to talk as if he is talking right across from you.
Go ahead.
Look, we are a nation of immigrants. Our future rests upon.
We are a nation of immigrants.
Fully integrated. 24 out of every 100 children in school.
Actually, we're a nation of rapers and pillagers.
Right now, today, the idea.
Hey, Alkali.
We're a nation of appropriators.
Significantly invest.
There's a line down the middle. They must be in different places.
They're in two pods.
Pepper, did you get to see that or no?
No.
In fact, get worse, not better.
We'll see later.
We should be embracing, bringing them in.
Secret, or kind of still. Not really.
Gunzuka's repping my icon. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Huzzah.
Thank you, Vice President.
Pepper, I sent you a video
right to you,
like
Sanders.
30 seconds long. Check it out later.
Calls the climate crisis a quote health crisis and warns that climate change could fuel the spread of infectious diseases. Can you point to specific measures in your climate plan that address that threat?
Medicare for all.
Well, of course we do. I mean, we
You might have heard of it.
Look, this is what the scientists are telling us, the same scientists who make your point.
We're talking climate change right now.
Telling us is if we don't get our act together in the next 7 or 8 years, there will be irreversible damage done to this planet. We're talking about cities in America.
They said that 10 years ago. It's already too late, Bernie. No, it's even worse than that.
Being underwater. We are talking about severe droughts, which will prevent farmers in the Midwest from growing the food that we need. We're talking about extreme weather disturbances, which hit Houston, Texas, Venice, Italy, just a few months ago. We are talking about the absolute need. And I want to hear Joe's position on this. This is not a middle of the ground thing. This is not
Xander.
Middle of the ground.
Or a few more wind turbines. What this is about is transforming our energy system as quickly.
My world's on fire. How about yours?
That's the way I like it.
It is insane.
And I never get bored.
It is absurd that we give tens
Someone
of
clip
billions of
that.
dollars a year in tax breaks and subsidies to the fossil fuel industry. This has got to end, and end now if we love our kids and future generations.
Vice President Biden?
First thing.
Yeah, but these psychopaths don't have empathy. They only care about their kids living on for their name.
The Defense Department to meet with all the chiefs. The single greatest threat to our national security.
They view their kids as anthropomorphic
The
sperm.
greatest threat to our national security. Because as populations have to move, because they can no longer live where they are, because their islands are sinking, because you saw what happened in Darfur.
What did you whisper?
With the change in weather patterns in the desert there. It causes war.
This is an unfortunate look for me.
Great migration. They said that's the single biggest problem. Number two, there's an awful lot of people today who are in fact getting ill because
I
of
know
the
what Pepper's
changes in
doing.
the environment, particularly up
I
where
know what
Bernie
Pepper's
lives.
doing.
Not him. But
I know what that is. I know what you made.
Because you have everything from beetle infestation.
First of all, how dare you?
As well.
Dr. Q, why am I getting a goddamn... Did I say something horrible?
You talk about the number one crisis. They told you at the Pentagon. The price tag for your climate plan is about $1.7 trillion.
Bye.
$14 trillion Senator Sanders wants to spend on this. Is your plan ambitious enough to tackle this crisis?
Yes, oh, yeah.
The crisis, because what you go to joebiden.com, I lay out the first 13 things I would do immediately upon being elected. Number one, we're going to once again...
Silence, you don't need a rib removed for that. You just got to stretch a lot.
Cafe standards, how far automobiles can go, investing in light rail so that we take cars off the road, making sure we're in a position where we are now in a position that...
now you're talking about fucking public transport.
Stations in areas that, in fact, all new highways can be built, making sure that...
I prefer if it's called spermosis, then it's bad.
The federal government paying for
Spermosis. Spermosis. Oh my God. Sperm Sona. Thank you, Pandas.
They'd be able to run on low carbon.
My parents aren't rich enough for me to be able to be a sperm Sona.
Thank you, Pandas. Please never speak to me again.
Holy shit.
All carbon free. We can do these
carbon
things.
free.
We can lay down the tracks where nothing can be changed by the next president or following president. The
Good.
one beyond that.
Xander the Spoo.
We also have to. I would.
Hold up.
That's my sperm Sona.
Sanders got a fucking finger to wave here.
Together. Wait a minute. I would call the 100 nations, over 100 nations, but the 100 major polluters to the United States in the first 100 days to up the ante and make it
spunky. Nice
Alkali. That was a good one. Biden had a fun little word salad there, saying 100 days.
I would be right now organizing the hemisphere and the world to provide $20 billion for the Amazon for Brazil.
Master Beto.
No longer to burn the Amazon.
Master Beto Aurora.
Xander is
my sperm Sona.
Pandez is testing the joke.
They absorb more carbon in the Amazon and the region that's burning now than we emit in one entire year.
Oh my God, my pet snake is genuinely going crazy right now.
Oh no.
Nowhere near enough.
I kind of want to go get
You
him.
mentioned we started this debate talking about
Do it.
a warlike situation in terms of the coronavirus. And we said we have to act accordingly. You said it. I think you're right. I said it. We have to act dramatically, boldly, if we're going to save lives in this country and around the world. I look at climate change in exactly the same way. It's not a question of re-entering the Paris Accord. That's fine. Who cares? Not a big deal. The deal right now is, do we have the courage? And this gets back to the point I'm trying to make all night long. Do we take on the healthcare industry and tell them their profits are not more important than healthcare for all? Do we take on the fossil fuel industry? Look, in terms of the fossil fuel industry, these guys have been lying. They've been lying for years, like the tobacco industry lied 50 years ago.
Snakes.
Oh, we don't know if fossil fuels, if oil and carbon emissions are causing climate change.
Oh, shit.
ExxonMobil knew. They lied. In fact, I think they should be held criminally accountable. But this, Jake, is
basically
an issue of enormous consequence. What Joe was saying goes nowhere near enough. It's not a question of money. Give me a minute.
Hey guys, isn't it cool that oil can just tank the economy?
World-shaking.
Please tell me people can hear him
I just want to
hissing.
give him a chance to respond, and then we can come back
Let's stay on.
Tiny bit.
on this issue.
Number one, no more subsidies for fossil fuel industry. No more drilling on federal lands. No more drilling, including offshore. No ability for the oil.
No more drilling, including offshore. Good.
Ends.
Yes.
Number two, we're in a situation as well.
Okay,
where
I'm
we
gonna go put
cannot-
him back.
We
Jesus.
are able to move rapidly.
He's not happy.
To change the dynamic in terms of what we can do to set in motion. The fact that he says climate change, Paris Accord, doesn't
Saffron
mean
like snake.
we could get everything exactly.
Hissy boy.
We're 15% of the problem. 85% of the problem is over there. We need someone who
He was having a hissy
we
fit.
need someone who can bring the world together again. We need someone who can move in a direction that, in fact, if you violate the commitment you make, you will pay an economic price for it. Like
Twix doesn't like Joe. I love it.
Coal, significant coal.
Hey guys, can you guess why his name is
The
Twix?
Paris Accord is useful, but it doesn't go anywhere. If you laugh at Joe, then you're missing the point. This is an existential crisis.
Bingo.
You talk about.
You don't get to say bingo while being wrong, you old fuck.
Bingo.
Possibly can. I'm talking
Yahtzee.
about telling the fossil
I just
fuel
say games.
industry that they are going to stop destroying this planet. No ifs, buts, and maybes about it. I'm talking about speaking.
Oh,
to
shit.
China. Well, I'm not sure your proposal does that. I'm talking about speaking to China, to Russia, the countries.
This is so
all over
wild,
the
isn't
world.
it?
And in this moment,
Wouldn't be allowed if there was an audience.
1.8 trillion on weapons of destruction designed to kill each other. Maybe we should pool our resources and fight our common enemy, which is climate change. I know your heart is in the right place, but this requires dramatic, bold action.
Oh, what a great disarming. Like, he believes you want to do the right thing, but your action is not.
My plan takes on the fossil fuel industry and it unites the world. He just got finished saying, what's he going to do? He's going to bring these countries together, make it clear to them. I'm saying
make them kiss.
Bring them together.
He's like, guys, everything's on fire.
They don't live up to the commitments.
Let's get our
they
shit
pay
together.
A financial price for it. They pay an economic price for it because we can do
It's
everything.
not just paying economic price. Like, you have to stop them. If you provide an opportunity to pay, they'll figure out how to pay less.
Can we agree that people have a right to live? Nah.
No.
That's kind of hard, guys.
I wrote the first climate change bill.
We can't afford that. That's a lot. We have billionaires to feed. They have really expensive breakfasts.
They need to feel like they deserve to live more than other people. They need people. Like, you need to enable a billionaire.
You're right. That is part of the system, is making people think you need to deserve, like you need to earn your right to live. And a lot of people can't even fucking do that in our system.
Those commitments are not enough.
And I've been on both fucking peaks of that shit.
They underestimated the severity of the crisis. They were wrong. The problem is more severe. So all that I'm saying right here is that we are fighting for the future of this planet, for the well-being of our kids and future generations. You cannot continue, as I understand Joe believes, to continue fracking. Correct me if I'm wrong. What we need to do right now is bring the world together.
I like my water to turn on fire.
That we are going to move aggressively to wind, solar, sustainable energies.
Mike Bloomberg spent more than enough money to run for president that could have fixed Flint.
Yeah.
Not just a Band-Aid, but permanently fixed it. But instead he ran for office and then did nothing.
That's why not another new coal plant will be built.
The Fed injected a $1.5 trillion loan, but can't fix Flint.
We, in fact, have the ability to...
It's not
He
worth
spent that
a
much
loan
money to let everyone know he's a creep.
Change the dynamic. And that's why we should be talking about things like I've been talking about for years. High-speed rail, taking millions of automobiles off the road, making sure that we move in a direction where no more drilling on federal lands, making sure that we invest in changing the entire fleet of the United States military to...
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Senator, I want to talk to you about...
Why not no more drilling?
I have no more
which is a method of extracting natural
applause
gas.
points, because they're
shift
not
towards
on.
natural gas and away from coal has resulted in reduced U.S. carbon emissions. So how can the U.S. transition to your targeted goal of zero emissions with fracking completely out of the picture?
Because we have to invest in an unprecedented way. In an unprecedented way. You started off by saying that we're talking about...
Because the models show, if we don't start doing something now, we are so fucked.
We're already starting to see.
We can't pussyfoot the shit around just because people don't want to lose that much money.
And what being dramatic is massive investment.
They're proposing, like, how about we just all take shorter showers?
Under the green
Yeah.
sustainable
It's like, no, motherfucker, we gotta...
That's some bullshit.
The whole structure of how the world works has to change, or we all, like, a whole lot of people die.
We can put millions and millions
Yeah,
of people to work,
but to them, the people that are going to die aren't the kind of people that they worry about.
our transportation system
And that's not even a
to
joke anymore.
electricity. So what
Nice.
we're talking about
Nice,
is
Coyote.
a massive, unprecedented investment. That is what the Green New Deal is about. I supported it, and I will fight.
Hell yeah, Ace.
implement it.
Thank you so much, Senator Sanders. We're going to be back with more from the CNN Univision Democratic presidential debate. Stay with us.
Univision.
Univision.
Univision. Okay.
This is so
What does Twitter
weird.
say? It's probably the final act, right?
Right? What
Last
does
half
Twitter
hour.
say? Yeah, what was it Biden trending with again?
LMAO Biden.
LMAO Biden. What the fuck? Uh-oh. I'm gonna get you guys sick over the internet.
Don't you fucking dare.
You've watched enough movies. I sneezed once.
You've watched enough movies.
Hey, have you all seen The Net?
Fucked.
I've seen a movie. Wait.
Oh shit! They coughed. It's over.
Is this really breaking?
Fuck.
Live TV.
What's going on? Corona Dragon. I guess that's me. Anyway.
Sorry. There's
Hey,
a picture
guys,
of a cheetah running, and it's very cute. Yay.
These are important things.
Cheetahs are good. They're like the dogs of the cat world.
The dogs of the cat world.
You guys know what I'm saying.
I do.
A little bit. I've had feral cats. Guys, cats, when they're feral, are fucking crazy. They're pretty much like dogs. Like, they will guard the house whenever there's a sound, and they will, like, be really pissed if there's any other cats around the house. It's great.
Okay.
Anyway.
Derek.
Yeah, go ahead. I might be... That was a thing.
That was a thing. All right, whatever. The window can be this now. I kind of don't.
Oh. Wait, we're coming back, right? With the debate?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. But we're doing commercials?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Contains nuts. Pied pepper.
What do I want to go on about during this commercial break? I'm just really happy that there was no audience. Go, Xander. Go.
Yeah. You were talking about Blue No Matter Who. I'm pretty much in that camp right now, just because look around you.
Well, all right. So
cut all the bullshit.
Tactically, specifically, there are three things. If you are a woman and, your body, your rights, then it's Blue No Matter Who. If you're a queer person and you do not want further attacks on your existence as a queer person in this country, Joe Biden gets it. He is going to be better for you than any Republican. They're actively trying to hurt you. Blue No Matter Who.
In the past 4 years.
And have previously. Yeah. And then finally,
what they've done.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is towards the end. Even if Joe Biden's going to put up a moderate, that moderate is going to be better than anyone else. And those judges are currently for life. We're not currently going to see any kind of Supreme Court restructure or revolution. So just from that fact, I hate it. I hate it. If Biden gets it, I will hate it, but I will do it because it's not even, I didn't even get to downstream elections. The blue wave still has to happen. We still have to get the House and the Senate to try and stave some of this stuff off. Maybe in like 20 years, Joe Biden will run as a Republican with the exact same views, and that'll be okay. But we're not there yet. We're against genuine harm to people today and now. And sorry, Biden will get my vote.
Look around at how shitty this has been handled already. And the paper trail we have of them trying to profit on it and keep the numbers down. These are actual things that come out they tried to keep the numbers down for the fucking election because they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
They're literally killing people just for election chances.
Yeah.
And that's what we're facing. So
and what you're facing is that there's another whole contingent that will not hold them responsible. If you think another 4 years of this shit is going to teach people, that's not how anything works.
No, not at all. They will have gotten away with it if they win. Because they currently don't think they're necessarily going to win. All right, so last time I saw this
thing is literally going to kill Trump voters. Like, there's no other way to say it.
But if the youth turnout doesn't happen, and right now with this...
I know.
Sorry, hang on. Let me get to turning our audio back on.
Let's move now to foreign policy. Senator
Foreign
Sanders,
policy. This
there are
is
about
usually where Sanders
1.5
sort of
million
struggles.
Cuban Americans living in Florida right now.
Oh, but this is immigration.
Why would they vote for you when they hear you praise a program
my God.
of Fidel Castro, a dictator who
Oh my God, this again?
Yep. That's all they can do.
I have opposed authoritarianism, whether it's in Cuba, whether it's in Saudi Arabia, whether it's in China, or whether it is in Russia. That is my.
Why'd you say things about Castro? And why is our president holding a fucking crystal ball with people who funded 9/11
in Cuba or any place else? What I believe right now in this world,
eat bees. That is
with a global
my response to that question.
Crisis and a movement toward authoritarianism. That's what Putin in Russia is leading. That's what MBS in Saudi Arabia is leading. And as President of the United States, unlike Donald Trump, I would put the flag down and say that in this country and in this world, we have got to move toward democracy and human rights. That is my view and has always been my view.
To be clear, Senator Sanders, Cuba has been a dictatorship for decades. Shouldn't we judge dictators by the violation of human rights and not by any of their alleged achievements?
Well, I think you can make the same point about China. China is undoubtedly an authoritarian society. Okay? But would anybody...
But they say they're communists.
That extreme poverty in China today is much less than what it was 40 or 50 years ago. That's
communist China, the backbone of capitalism.
We condemn authoritarianism,
right?
whether it's in China,
yes.
Russia, Cuba, any place else.
Nene Kiri, no nuance allowed. This is why no audiences are great. It allows Sanders to be nuanced.
Would I think be incorrect?
Vice President Biden, you have criticized Senator Sanders for praising Castro's education system. But in 2016, President Obama said Cuba made
your BFF is fucking you.
Educating young people, and that its healthcare system is a huge achievement that they should be congratulated for. How is that different from what Senator Sanders has said?
He was trying to change Cuban policy so the Cuban people would get out from under the thumb of the Castro and that is to change the policy so that we could, in fact,
oh my God, he was prepared for this fucking question. I hate it.
Of course, opened up.
It's like he knew it was coming.
The praising of the Sandinistas, the praising of Cuba, the praising just now of China. China is an authority.
Hey, at least we agree on that.
That's what it is. We have to deal with them because they're there.
Fuck you,
but
Joe.
The idea that they, in fact, have increased.
Oh, I'll hate voting for you if you get the nomination. I'll hate voting for you more than I hated voting for Hillary.
It is still, they have a million Uyghurs, a million Muslims.
Bye, Dr. Q. Thanks for hanging out.
You see
Bye, Dr. Q.
Today. And by the way, the idea that he praised the Soviet Union when it was the Soviet Union about the things that they had done well. They're an awful dictatorship killing millions and millions of people.
How about the millions and millions that are getting killed?
Millions and millions of people all the time.
Here, by capitalism. You fuck.
How many bomb the shit out of civilians constantly?
Yep.
How many people a year die from not having insurance?
Well, what you don't get, and this is exactly what the problem with politics is about. All right, question.
This is like that freaking no take only throw.
More than 26,000 Americans die each year because of lack of coverage. And this is from a long time ago. Or actually, yeah, 2008. That's
hang on. He's grilling him.
We can't talk. Yeah, I know there's a political line. I understand. China's terrible, awful, nothing ever good. Russia, blah, blah, blah. But the fact of the matter is, China, of course, is an authoritarian society. That's what I just said.
It's a dictatorship.
That's what I just said 5 minutes ago, you know? And by the way, you know, the question that was asked quoted Barack Obama. President Obama was more generous in his praise of what Cuba did in healthcare and education than I was. I was talking about a program 60 years ago in the first year of the Castro revolution. So the bottom line is that I think it's a little bit absurd.
Joe thinks he's winning
this. The way it is. Of course we are opposed to authoritarian. And by the way, you know, before it was considered good policy, good idea. I was condemning the dictatorship in Saudi Arabia when a lot of other people in Washington I was condemning the dictatorship in the UAE. You were not.
Thank you, Senator Sanders. Vice President Biden.
Look, the idea of occasionally saying something nice.
There was a noise that came through.
Is one thing.
That sounded like a duck.
Violating human rights around the
world. I think it was Pepper.
Our allies wonder what's going on. What do you think?
Don't be sorry. I love it.
When he praises China like that. What do you think? What do you think the Australians believe in the shadow of China?
Oh my God!
He's like, see, he said China's good. Fuck him.
Biden is doing everything Republicans do because it wins elections. He's maybe the first Democrat to fucking realize this.
Period. And they should be called for it, straight up. we may have to work out, for example.
I'm going to be on my moral pedestal where there is no nuance, and that's why you have to pay back your student loans forever.
Mr. Vice President, speaking with foreign policy, you acknowledge that your support and vote for the Iraq War was a mistake. What lessons did you learn from that mistake, and how might those lessons influence
Joe Biden made a
foreign policy
mistake?
decision-making as president?
I learned I can't take the word of a president when, in fact, they assured me that they would not use force. Remember the context. The context was the United Nations Security Council was going to vote to insist that we allow inspectors in to determine whether or not.
Oh my gosh, Bernie's just going to slam dunk
they were,
this.
in fact, producing nuclear weapons.
Alley-oop, motherfucker.
They're not. And what's the first thing that happened?
That was loud. Sorry.
The President Obama turned to me and said, "Get those troops out of there." I was responsible for getting 150,000 combat troops.
Actually, can I make my audio better for y'all?
I admitted 14 years ago was a mistake to have trusted him. And I'm prepared to compare my foreign policy credentials up against my friend here on any day of the week and every day of the week.
Let's start off with the war in Iraq, Joe. I was there too. I was in the
house.
All right, do I still sound okay?
And by the way, let's
be
clear.
You don't sound great.
I mean, this is to everyone else if the
not
choppiness
sure.
happens.
The ceremony with Bush. Everybody in the world knew that when you voted for that resolution, you were giving Bush the authority to go to war. And everybody knew that's exactly what he and Cheney wanted to do. Most people who followed that issue closely understood that the Bush administration was lying through its teeth with regard to Saddam having weapons of mass destruction. I understood that. I was on the floor of the House.
How did you vote for that, Joe?
Again. But the issue is not just the war in Iraq. That was a long time ago. The issue is the trade agreement. It wasn't so easy for me to lead the effort against disastrous trade agreements. The issue was the bankruptcy bill that you supported. The issue was the Hyde Amendment. The issue was the Defense of Marriage Act. The issue is
Bernie Sanders,
whether or not in difficult times, and God knows
just
these are
consistency
difficult times,
is incredible.
we're going to have the
and I love
courage
it.
to take on powerful special interests and do what's right
Vice
for the
President Biden.
working families of this country.
Why did you vote not to sanction the Russians?
You know
Oh,
what?
shit, he answered the question. He wasn't expecting that.
That was tied to Iran. Russia was in Iran. I think John Kerry indicated his support for what I did. That was undermining the Iranian agreement. That's why.
Not true. Our
That's why, and that's the only reason why.
That is-
I have condemned Russia time
Vice
and
President,
time again.
Vice President Biden.
The fact is,
And for a twist, an
the
answer.
idea that
Well,
I,
bam!
in fact, supported the things that he's suggesting is not accurate. Look, I'm the guy that helped put together the Iran deal and got
I'm
the
the guy.
inspectors in there.
Vote for me because I'm the guy. That's about what this amounts to. I'm the guy.
Doing that negotiation.
If he comes out with a T-shirt that says "the guy" on it, I'd be pretty proud.
Organization to take on.
They're not that savvy.
ISIS in Iraq and
Just like Becky Lynch.
I've dealt with that.
The man.
Oh, wait. I got to head up the wrestling. I know where this goes.
Who the bad guys are. The fact is, this Bernie's notion about how he
almost said this,
folks
Jew.
like the Sandinistas and Cuba,
Oh, no.
the former Soviet Union, and talks about the good things they did in China is absolutely.
Oh, he's circling
contrary
back to,
every
he praised them. Didn't you hear me?
He said good things about Hat Guy. Cuba Hat.
Authoritarianism, including America's so-called allies in the UAE and in Saudi Arabia.
no.
And in fact,
Here we go. Here comes round two of this
worked with
argument.
conservative Republicans who utilized for the very first time the War
Can't
Powers
say good
Act
things about Hat
against
Guy.
the United States.
It's bad.
The horrific
Shut up.
war in Yemen, led by Saudi Arabia. That's what I did. So my view is that in a world moving toward authoritarianism, the United States has got to be the leader,
Shit.
where people all over the world look to us
Thank you, Senator.
for guidance.
Thank you, gentlemen. I want to change topics and ask each of you about some of your vulnerabilities in this election, starting with you, Vice President Biden. Senator Sanders has won more
I'm
of
good.
the Hispanic vote
Who are you
several
popular
key states
with?
so far. In fact,
Mexicans like me. Black people like me. Let's have a fight.
Tripled it in Nevada.
This
so
is
why
weird.
is your message not resonating with Hispanic voters?
Well, look, my message is resonating across the board. Every single state we've been in, there's been a significant turnout. In Virginia, turnout was up 70%. They voted for me. He didn't bring them out. I brought them out. And number two, Look what's happened in Mississippi. Look what's happened in North Carolina. Look what's happened in Washington State. Look what's happened across the board. Why is it that I'm winning? What's the reason? What's the reason? The reason is because they know I am a Democrat.
And that's all they know. And as you with
believes that our base is the base of the Democratic Party, which are hard.
And the more they hear, the less they like.
In fact, are
right?
High school educated, African Americans and minorities, including Hispanics, but all minorities, suburban women, people who in fact have a sense of our place in the world. That's why I am winning, not just winning, but overwhelmingly winning.
Bernie's been going after big banks since the beginning. That is
some
nothing
things
new.
has happened since then.
Senator Sanders, let me just follow
Just
up with
saying.
you about an issue that you're having. For the second consecutive presidential election, you're struggling to gain wide support from African Americans. Why is your message not resonating with African American voters?
Here is what I believe is happening, and this is an important point, and why I
don't fuck this up,
decided to
Bernie.
run for president. I think it's imperative that we defeat Trump. I think our campaign of a biracial, bigenerational, multi-generational grassroots movement is the way to do it. Now, we have won some states. Joe has won more states than I have. But here's
Grassroots.
what we are winning. We are winning the ideological struggle, even in states like Mississippi, where Joe won a major victory. Turns out that a pretty good majority of the folks there believe in Medicare for all. And that's true in almost every state in this country. And the other issue that we don't talk enough about is we are winning the generational struggle.
That's the one that
Depending on the
matters.
state, we're winning people 50 years of age or younger.
Yeah.
Big time people 30 years
The
of age.
people that are going to have to
and
live with the
younger.
ramifications
I
of who we
frankly
fucking put
have
in there
my
longer than
doubts.
anyone else.
If I lose this
These-
thing, Joe wins. Joe, I will be there for you. But I have my doubts about how you win a general election against Trump. Will be a very, very tough opponent unless you have energy, excitement, the largest voter turnout in history. And to do that, you are going to have to bring young people who are not great voters. They don't vote in the kinds of numbers they should into the political process. You're going to have to bring Latinos who are great people who have the agenda that we need, but also don't vote in the numbers that we need. I have my doubts that Vice President Biden's campaign can generate that energy and excitement and that voter turnout.
I will do that. And by the way, just get this
I will
straight.
do that.
Energy and excitement that's taken place so far has been for me.
Energy.
Turnout increase in Virginia. I can go down the list. They're coming out for me. And I didn't even have the money to compete with this man in those states. I virtually had no money. The press kept saying Biden has no money. And they were right. Biden had no money. And the idea.
What the fuck is that about?
Biden has no money when that happens.
Because they understand I know what has to happen, that I know what needs to be done. And by the way, the idea that everybody supports Medicare for all, he has indicated how much it's going to cost people. He's yet to know.
You motherfucker. Said it again.
People don't know the details.
Do I have to get the fucking paperwork again?
Thank you, sir.
Said it again.
Among Democratic constituencies across the board.
I realize I
Look
can
at him.
turn off my
He's
camera to make
fuming.
it show
Right back
bees
with more
easier,
from the
but
CNN
whatever.
Univision Democratic presidential
Oh my
debate. Stay right
God.
there.
All right, so
He's
we
gonna
have one
come
more
back
commercial and then closing
And print
statements
up
or something.
and throw it at
I
Joe.
guess. I hope. Holy shit. I'm done.
So
I'm ready for this to be
Thursday
over.
started out.
Nope. We're not listening to this.
Oh,
There's
it
dog
was
head.
furry.
I
Yeah, it was
understand there's
dog head.
dogs, but it's advertising and it's weaponizing art, and that's bad.
It's true.
Art.
That's
Art,
what he
not
did.
art.
I think arf. Appreciate that, everyone.
Get it off the screen, man.
Everyone
Trying
collaborate.
to sell us.
You can't remove resolve. This ad has too much resolve. It can't be
For-
removed.
Fuck off. For anyone who's watching this that was questionable about Bernie, I hope that you've heard what he's had to say, and I hope it's had a positive influence. And if it hasn't, I would love to hear and see the rational responses to that, not irrational things. There's enough screaming about that as is. But yeah, I am still blue no matter who, and I have deep philosophical issues with Joe Biden, but there's more at stake than just the presidency.
Yeah, if you don't vote, you are just basically voting for whoever's in power. That's how I see it.
It is a lesser of two evils between Republicans and Biden, genuinely. But Biden is lesser, and that means less harm will come to people I care about immediately in my lifetime.
Harm reduction.
And yes. It's not getting the progressive wave that I want, but at least it's harm reduction, and that does matter to me.
And we're going to need more of us to move forward. So, like, fucking, yeah, that's it.
Yay. Yeah,
Bernie
that's about
has-
as fired up as we can get.
Bernie has 3 houses because he has a house where he actually lives in Vermont. He has a house where he works all the time in DC, and he has a a glorified double wide that is a quote camp in
Yeah,
in
but
Vermont,
what percentage of people in that state have a
people do.
camp?
It's not that uncommon. It's basically like Draggor, your parents definitely would. My parents probably would. Xander may that's a very solidly middle
but
class.
like I grew up solid
they'll
middle
vote Trump.
class, if not upper middle class as well. So like I'm pretty fucking lucky.
It's a Maine and Vermont thing. So it's like Bernie is like regular people doing all right. Like people hear 3 houses and they think, oh, he has his fucking Malibu house and
in
his
Bernie's
Maui
ideal
house
world,
and his LA
every
penthouse.
Wait, Pepper. In Bernie's ideal world, every third person would have what he has instead of,
Yeah,
"Oh,
by the
what's gonna
time you
happen to
reach age 70, if you work your whole life, you should be able to have
You should be able-
okay, I
yeah.
work in 2 different cities. Have you seen the picture of his place? Like he does not live in lifestyles of the rich and famous.
No,
he
just
lives like
has
an
a place.
old man's house. He
Yeah.
has like an old Jewish granddad house. That's how he lives.
Like right now,
Just weird
I
to
could
understand it
probably
all.
go buy
But he's a
an acre in the middle of nowhere with no utilities and put one of those prefab houses where you got to wheel in and out your water and your shit. Like I could do that because
Junk chair.
I love junk chair.
Oh my god, he's got floor pillows.
Oh no,
Floor pillows.
is it breaking?
He definitely.
Oh,
Like he definitely has more money than like any of us do.
Oh, yeah, but
like,
'cause
if
he
you
wrote a
work as
book-
hard as he did for as long as he did. Well, it's your salary as a senator is at least $100K, and he's been making that for like 40 years. So yeah, he probably has a couple few $1 million.
And he had a best-selling book and made a
sold
lot
a
of
book.
money.
That motherfucker didn't have a floor that wasn't made of dirt until like 1972. He he lived in a sugar shack in Vermont, meaning a fucking barn which had a dirt floor. So like any narrative that like he's somehow a wealthy person or part of the
Welcome
1%,
to
he's a hypocrite because he has
Bernie
money.
Bond.
Yeah.
God, sorry, I don't want to be a.
Oh my God! Look, Pandez called it
too
out
late.
on Twitter. Did Biden is trending?
Did Biden?
People looking up. Did Biden? Blah.
Did you guys look and see the research basically saying that the whole Bernie bro is not supported by data as far as like
debate. Finally, gentlemen,
Mostly
thanks
women.
so much for everything. As we end here tonight, let's return to where we began. The coronavirus, which does not discriminate based on ideology. It does not care if one is a Democrat or a
Here we go.
Republican, a conservative, a moderate, or a progressive.
Roll with
Senator
time.
Sanders, let me start with you.
We're
What's your
ending on
closing
watermelon
message
colors.
tonight for those who are concerned about, affected by, or dealing with the coronavirus?
Pepper is not doing autofellatio again.
To everyone. We need to move aggressively to make sure that every person in this country who has the virus,
If only I were though.
thinks they have the virus, understands they
You can
get
lick
all
it.
the health care that they need because they are Americans.
It's not worth the effort.
That we move aggressively to make sure that the test kits are out there, that the ventilators are out there, that the ICU units are out there, that the medical personnel are out there. If I might also say that in this moment,
Yeah, my own Toby and see Sue knows.
uncertainty in addition to the coronavirus, it is time to ask how we get to where we are. Not only our lack of preparation for the virus. how we
Thank
end
you,
up
Drag It Show,
with
for
an
posting
economy where
that.
So many of
That
our
would
people
me.
are hurting.
Thank you,
at a
Xander,
time
part
when
of
we
Drag
become
It Show,
a
for
wealthy
posting
economy.
that.
It is time to
No
ask
How much
problem.
toilet paper have we
question
eaten so
of where
far?
the power is in America. Who owns the media?
I have a high
Who
fiber
owns
diet.
the economy? Who owns the legislative process? Why do we give tax breaks to billionaires and not raise the minimum wage? Why do we pump up the oil industry while 500,000 people are homeless in America? This is
Biden's stance on drugs is horrible. In one of the debates, he still called marijuana a gateway drug. It wasn't until Cory Booker punched him on stage with his metaphorical word fist that he 180'd into immediately promising like commuting all non-violent drug offenders.
All non-salient drug offenders.
Vice President Biden, what's your closing message tonight for those concerned about, affected by, or dealing with this virus?
Number one, as I said at the outset, I just can't imagine what people are going through right now.
Oh, see, this is where his charisma is dialed to 11.
I can't imagine what people are going through when they have a mom. For example, a good friend of ours is sitting outside the window of a nursing home where her mom is because she
Sad story, Biden.
Trying to do sign language.
Sad story,
to her mom through
Biden.
the window to be able to talk to her.
Taken from the playbook of Kamala Harris.
Irish Spring Biden.
Irish Spring Biden.
One of the things that I think we have to understand is that this is an all hands on deck. This is, as someone said,
all
maybe
hands on
dick than any individual. This is bigger than.
If you sniff me, you think you're in a waterfall.
How long until a furry 3D artist animates ejaculating coronavirus?
To get this done. And so first and foremost, what we have to do is start to listen to the science again. As I said, we met. And what I'd be doing today, I'd be sitting down in the Situation Room literally every day.
Irish Joe.
Instead of other crises we had when we were in the White House.
Someone give that man a potato.
People, and not just the United States, the world, shit. Say, what is it? What are the prescriptive moves?
I'm gonna do a jig.
Moves we have to take now to lessen this virus, to beat it, to go to the point where
to beat it.
Get more people tested, get more people the kind of care they need. And then what do we do beyond that to make sure that the economic...
What do we do beyond that? We do Medicare for all.
In fact, rendered harmless. That we, in fact, make sure every paycheck is met. Every paycheck that's out there that people are going to miss. That we keep people in their homes.
Are you talking
they don't
about
miss their mortgage payments? They don't
make sure that everything that is out there. Make sure that keep people in their homes.
And by the way, the education institutions are closing down right now. And so there's so many things
education is this, they're closing down.
What we have to do is we have to have the best science in the world to telling us what can stay open and what
you know how you get the best science? School doesn't cost anything.
We're closing schools, which I understand, but not being able to provide lunches for people who, in fact, need the school lunch program to get by. The idea
Did you know
that we would close
run on sentence Biden's? This is all one sentence, I think.
It is. It's also 9 p.m. and they're not cutting him off.
More gather. But how do you keep?
But he's charismatic, Pepper. Uncle Joe's telling you it's going to be okay.
That necessarily have to be kept going. And what's the way to do that? There should be a national standard.
I'm trying really hard to understand what he's talking about.
Right now.
You're going to nosebleed.
By the way, the single most significant thing we can do to deal with the larger problem down the road
oh no, I snorted.
Is get rid of Donald Trump.
And it touched my face.
Donald Trump. He's exacerbated every single one of these problems, both the immediate urgent need and how
he's the guy. That's right.
For the damage done.
Also, Asbestos is the best name.
It's important we do both.
Vice President Biden, Senator Sanders, we want to thank you both for being here tonight under these challenging and trying circumstances. We wish both of you the best.
Can offer you an egg.
Thanks as well to our partners at Univision. For Ilya Calderon and Dana Bash, I'm Jake Tapper. Thank you so much.
Okay, everybody, we did it.
Stay healthy.
Yay. Okay. So we're going to do some final thoughts, some final banter. This was mercifully only 2 hours.
Only. The biggest quotes of all time and only. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have weirdness going on. So,
Ooh,
weirdness, my favorite.
Who's weird?
Anyway,
We're
you're
weird.
going to see us multiple times, whatever, on the stream. We're at the end of this. So I'm going to go over one more time why I am genuinely blue no matter who, and that includes Biden. They essentially could even rat fuck the election, but it genuinely looks like that they are not doing anything that is outright illegal. They are just exploiting things that are already in place. So I'm not okay with that. However, I don't hate that so much as to allow the Republicans 4 more years. In the immediate, queer people, women, this medical stuff, like none of this would have been as bad without the dismantling of these federal funds that the Republicans are okay with. A Joe Biden presidency would have made this less bad. Do I think it still would have been acceptable? No, because he's still status quo Joe. He really is. But his status quo is going to kill less women who need the services that they need, and it's going to kill less queer people, and it's going to do less harm overall to immigrants that are here overall. It is not acceptable to me what he represents, but it is immediately a relief and better for people who are alive right now. I'm someone who believes you only have this one life, and anything that alleviates that in the immediacy, I can't demand someone else sacrifice their one life for a longer term plan. It's not in my conscience to do it. I'm going to vote Joe because it will be noticeably better than what we have suffered through now. I plead to anyone that's Bernie or bust to think otherwise, that the battle doesn't end if Bernie doesn't get it now. It will, that his ideas are going to live on. They're always going to be there. We just need to work with and hopefully put up and find the next group that believe in what we believe in. But if we don't get it now, it ain't over. It's sad. It's going to suck. But his status quo is better than what's going on. So that's my peak. Yeah. That's my plead. I believe the Supreme Court. I didn't even get into that. I said it earlier. But Joe Biden picking nominations is going to overall be less harmful than any Republican picking nominations. And that's something that even a Bernie Sanders political revolution won't change probably during his 1 or 2 terms if he were to get it. So, things keep coming down to split 4 or 5 decisions against social progressivism that saves lives and causes less harm. We need to stop that. That is where I am at. I hate it. I hate that that's what it probably will come to. I'm going to fight for Bernie until Bernie concedes. Absolutely.
No.
What, Xander?
No, I'm just saying I disagree that 4 years that any kind of centrist candidate will get us a worse Trump, because you're trying to predict something ridiculous.
Okay,
like you're trying to assume too much.
So what people are talking about for that is that centrists are just as harmful, and it's that overall in the long term, centrists are just as harmful because they don't give a shit about us. However, the current political arrow is that anyone with a D next to their name, even if they don't actually care about it, are going to continue to put the placating policies that help queer and minorities and women better than what Republicans do.
Yeah. Whether or not they actually give a shit, I just wanted to say this. Whether or not they actually give a shit doesn't matter. It's the consequences of their actions.
Yes. And the things that they do at like the bottom rung, the baseline to be a Democrat, lines up more with what I believe in as far as either doing the most good or causing the least harm to the people I immediately know and care about. And the Democratic Party, of which it has many faults, is going to do a better job of not killing people than Trumpism Republicans will, or Reaganomics, or whatever the fuck you want to call this shit. So that is my plead.
Until we have a different voting system that's not first to the post, or what's it called? Past the post?
First past the post. Ranked voting is a form that is an option that we would love to be able to do. There are other statistical voting things that are better than first past the post that other people support more than ranked voting. But yeah. All right, I said my thing. I'm good. Xander, Pepper.
Pepper can go. I don't have anything.
I still got at least like 2 more months before I have to pretend to like Joe Biden, and I'm going to enjoy them.
Oh, yeah, I get you. I mean, like,
I don't
think I'll be convinced otherwise, but anything's possible with everything that's going on right now. But
supposedly the line was, at this point in Obama versus Hillary, Obama was behind and ended up pulling ahead. So my hope is tonight, especially with no audience, is that Bernie's message was finally able to be heard a little bit more. And the big thing we have to combat is people aren't going to want to go out and vote because they're afraid.
Yeah.
Biden might get it just because of that. That's the sad truth. People might immediately go, yeah, I agree with Bernie more, but the numbers aren't going to happen because we have a fucking outbreak going on and people don't want to die, and I can't fault them for it.
And
figure out how to vote early, please.
In people in populous cities, especially, and that's where Bernie is mostly supported. So we had fucking lines out the goddamn wazoo, and they're going to be only get worse. So that sucks.
Yes, it's a very. I personally am an at-risk population. I have always been sick more than anyone else. Anyone who knows.
Look at them.
Exactly, right? I'm an at-risk population, and I have to go figure out how to vote tomorrow because I don't want to do it Tuesday, which is when Illinois goes.
I already got mine done.
You did?
I did.
It's good.
Well, like
it's
you
good.
said,
I should have done it sooner.
Them and stuff. No,
but
you don't. Yeah.
I can go tomorrow before the masses are nuts. It's walking distance, right around the corner from me. So I'm going to go do that. If you have more lead time, please figure out how to vote early. It makes a difference. And everyone's going to need to do that more to stay safer amidst this outbreak.
The earlier, the better, probably.
Like, if I hate that I'm saying this, if you fear for yourself or your loved ones that voting would jeopardize that on election day, make the choice that makes sense for you. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Exactly.
Everyone has to figure this out for themselves.
Yeah.
Now, if voting matters a lot to you, go vote and then go get a freaking extended stay or whatever. Go get a little shitty motel room for 2 weeks. So if you've exposed yourself, then go sequester yourself. And if that's how you want to participate with your civic duty, fucking awesome. If you're willing to do that, great.
Hey, can I slam these guys with some statistics since we got a captive audience?
Go.
All right, guys, we're going to deal with this for the next 12 to 18 months, whether you realize it or not. That's a real fucking thing that everyone's saying. And, you don't hear that too often. You really don't. People are talking about this might be like 1 million people. And those are the nice estimates. Like, obviously, none of this could happen. But they said these first 2 weeks are just not the first 2 weeks, but these weeks coming up, especially the next one, are so important for stopping the fucking spread. So if you can stay in your house,
I'm happily doing that. I work for myself. It's great.
Yeah. Sue, there's estimates of 40 to 70% of us are going to get this thing in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
So that's fucking horrifying.
All right. I need to go because I have not eaten yet.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out, bros.
Yeah, thanks.
Go
Thank
eat.
you so much.
Xander, you got anything else before we sign off?
I just want to get that out there, guys. Stay safe. Look it up. Look up. Who's the main CDC guy in charge? I actually like that guy. Every time I've seen him, he's been.
Don't know the name, but I know who you're talking about. It's in
Fiachi or something like that. Something with a C, ends with an I. Anyway, that dude's been pretty solid so far.
Thank you, everyone that stuck with. If any of you came from anywhere else, we're a bunch of furries that care about this stuff. This is what we do. We do a lot more furry-centric stuff. Check out Xander. Alkali's in the chat. Check out the Draggor show.
We just talk and stuff.
It's absolute madness. Thank you, Astral Gamer.
We have Irish Biden.
We're all sequestered, so you're going to see a lot more online stuff from myself, from Xander, from Chris, from Iggy. A lot of us are going to be doing more to help stave off the go mad cabin fever. So
we live in a virtual world now.
We do. Support your artists. Support the people that you know are having a rougher time. I'm a coder in Chicago. My job in life is no different other than I'm here more. I am lucky. I am going to go out of my way. Follow me on Twitter, and I'm going to be putting forth people to drive more traffic. I'm going to be getting more commissions. I technically don't need that. I just want to send more stuff to the people that need it. Support your artists. Support people in any way, shape, or form that you can. This aid and stuff that's going to come through, I hope it does. But it's going to be rough for a lot of people until things pass. There's going to be people with a lot of question marks. So, yes, one person or two people here and there are going to try and abuse the system. Try to not be default suspicious. Help where you can. It matters more. It matters more to accidentally help someone who doesn't need it than to keep care and support from someone who does need it. So I'm okay with going above and beyond, and if people grift me a little bit, fuck it. I at least know like 90% of what I did overall helped. I genuinely believe that. All right, I've rambled. Xander, last words, and then I'm going to shut this thing off.
For those of you lucky enough to work from home, I hope, and in my experiences of working from home, I'm a 15-plus year profession, and I've worked on video games. I have always found every time I've been working from home, it's been just as productive, if not more productive. I hope that you pound home. I hope everyone realizes. Stop! Shut up!
You said pound home. Fuck
I know. Shut up. No, just like no, really fucking show. Like, guys, we're getting our shit done. Why do we all need to go to this goddamn office when all this is over? Like, I hope that really changes, because I've lost so much of my life in commutes that are unnecessary and have just stressed me and made my work less productive. And I've been stuck in Chicago traffic, Yeah. And it's only going to get worse. So hopefully, let's start thinking about infrastructure and how we're all getting our shit done and supporting each other. Obviously,
a big name in the earlier debates that Xander and I and Pepper as well were very fond of was Andrew Yang and universal basic income, because the automation wave is coming. And when you have so many people more at home, you have these jobs that don't require face-to-face contact, what happens to them? They were sold that their job and what they worked towards was going to be the thing they could do for the rest of their life. And it's just going to go away. And there's currently no support to retrain. There's currently no free school you can go back to deal with that. Margins weren't great for those jobs to begin with.
I've seen jobs disappear in my lifetime. We had riggers. That sounds like a bad word. We had riggers that was the job, and you rigged the thing. I'm sorry, but that was a job that went away because of automation.
Yes. And like, that's a hard skill to know how to do that by hand. Xander, you know how to do it.
I do. Yeah, it's just...
I'm a software engineer. I have written code that then 3 to 9 months later was the enabling factor that allowed the company I worked at to lay off over 100 people, and I have to live with that. I'm genuinely bothered by that. I refuse to take jobs where automation is used as an excuse to lay people off and increase profits.
Also, if you think you're safe, there's a great story about how these Microsoft guys were making awesome AR technology, and then it was sold to the government to blow people up, and they were not happy about that. You can look this shit up. It's fun.
What we're saying is, like, Xander and I and Pepper and a lot of people that we choose to associate with, like, empathy is the thing. We try to not be suspect. We try to give benefit of the doubt as much we can, because we're all just trying to live, and we're trying to get through this shit, and this is especially difficult now. Please do what you can to help each other. This is going to be weird. For me, honestly, I'm lucky in that I know how to hermit. I unfortunately have this depression gremlin, so I've kind of done the not step outside for 2 months at a time before. But I've also been lucky enough to have a job where I did that and didn't get fired. So,
Yeah, this is just like normal for me.
Yeah.
I'm such a fucking introvert, and like.
But what we have to, Xander, what you and I have to remember is the cabin fever and the sheer anxiety of being stuck in the same room or house over and over is going to be difficult. There is going to be people who feel this innate desire to break what is suggested for how to deal with this outbreak. And we need to be there for each other, because there aren't people that haven't been in our situation before, for better or worse.
No, that's true. I mean, like, I think I became that way when I was forced to when I'm being bullied growing up and whatnot. You learn how to cope with it. We got our training out a long time ago, I guess.
So I've seen a Silence said unionized software dev, and I do believe it. It is going to be exceedingly difficult. There was a Twitter person I followed. If you search for it, you'll find it. Basically stating that during times of crisis are great, for better or worse, times of crisis are great times to get collective bargaining going and actually form unions if you're working in an industry that doesn't. It is difficult to do, but there are people out there who have created unions from nothing. So go look up that information. If you don't want your employer to only have the power and go, you're a squeaky wheel, sayonara, then unions are one of the ways you fight back with that. Unions aren't perfect. We have all grown up through the public schools, or most of us have grown up through the public school system, where you're sitting there going, that teacher was abusive and never got fired because the union protected them. Well, that's a case where the union's greater good extended to protecting someone it shouldn't have. But the overall good it gained is better. The fact that that instance causes a little bit of harm is a problem, and I acknowledge that that's a problem of unions that I also want to tackle. But the immediacy of forming a union is overall going to be more beneficial to us as individuals than it is as some kind of collective drain on society at large.
Oh, well, I got nothing else right now.
I got nothing else. I've been Draggor. Thank you. If
I'm
you stick
Xander.
to this channel, there's going to be a lot more game and Doom stuff, and we're going to keep doing stuff throughout the election cycle. Xander.
Real quick, JG Cheetah. Yes, they still have rigging done, but a lot of it can be done automatically. So it's like a character would take a week, and now it can be done in like less than a day, like really easily. Depending on it, all depends on the thing, of course. It's about the detail, blah blah blah. Anyway, that's it.
And we had Pepper with us. Check out his music. Check out his Bandcamp. And
hey, here's a tip. You can go to Mixamo.com and get your fucking 3D model rigged up for free. Just do the fucking thing right there. Anyway.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.